Don't have hello everybody.
If anybody's here yet.
Yeah, let us know if you see us.
We'll have to see if we see.
Can you see? Can you hear? We know we have what's it, Alpha Tryon and Mr. S.
Johnny was there, but Johnny had to go.
Yeah.
Already. That's all right.
Probably got ads going.
Yeah, that could. Yeah, and I'll have to explain that too for anybody who's watching last time.
So hi Alpha and Mr. Question Mark, Mr. S.
Mr. Upside Down Question Mark. You know what that is?
What?
That's that sound.
I don't know.
I'm serious. That's a sound.
Well, his name is Mr.
Because sometimes it like really weird African names, you see that symbol and other symbols like it in their lettering because they have clicks and buzzes and stuff in their names. I'm not kidding. That's a thing.
I don't know. But we're happy to have you.
Yeah. We're happy to have somebody. We'll see here in a moment.
Yeah, we got 3 people, it says. So again, we're happy to have all of you.
All 3 of you.
To hang out with us.
It'll take a minute.
On this Saturday night.
Saturday evening. 9 p.m. Eastern Standard Time.
Yeah,
where we are.
We're just hanging out and talking and, shooting the breeze. That's what we do.
The breeze, talking all things pop culture, albeit toys or comic books or
TV shows, movie. My friend
records.
Wiley is here. Yeah. And I can't see that other name.
It says
Shelby the rock star
from New England.
Hey, from New England. I've never been to any of the New England states.
And Jesse Say What is
Hey, there. Jesse.
And it's 7 o'clock wherever Mr. S is.
Okay.
7 p.m.
That's mountain time.
Unless they're talking about AM.
Yeah.
Oh, Black Knight made it.
Hey, Black Knight, how are you?
And Black Knight also has a channel.
Yes, he has a channel. Yep. He's up there in Illinois,
and
he has a channel doing his toy hunts, and he go hunting. I'll be hunting. That's what he say on his intro.
Yeah. He means for toys, not for rabbits. Gilgamesh is here.
Hey, Gilgamesh, how you doing? Good.
Kill the wabbit. Kill the wabbit. Kill the wabbit. It's duck season. It's rabbit season.
So again, it's good to see all of you on this fine Saturday night. We got Richard.
It says Richard Smith is here.
Hey, Richard and John
McJunkin is here.
Hey.
As people are starting to trickle in. Thanks for joining us this evening. Spontaneous attempt at doing a live stream. Hopefully we don't have interruption issues.
Yeah. You know how that goes.
There should have been an ad. There should have been an ad this time because, we had an issue where some time ago, YouTube canceled monetization on the channel.
Yeah, they demonetized
the whole platform and with no explanation. And when I asked them for an explanation, they gave me sent me an email that says that their policy says they don't have to tell me why. It's our policy not to tell you why, because I say, can you tell me what happened? If it's something specific, can you tell me which video it is so that I can see and figure it out
and take it down?
Yeah, and I'll work with you. And they said our policy says that we don't have to tell you, and the reason is so that to keep people from getting around our policies. And it's like, so you're setting me up for failure. Is what you're doing.
Well, they're only doing that because they're a monopoly and they know you have no place.
You have nowhere to go. Yeah, no, the other platforms don't really work.
No.
And then I was down for almost 4 months with no monetization of the videos.
Yeah.
And it's not like I'm making a fortune. I don't have like a massive channel. Some change that you make and whatever. But then they send me an email that says, congratulations, you are now enrolled in the YouTube partnership program. Like I'm brand new. Okay, and it's all back on again. Black Knight says score G.I. Joe classified Robert Grunt Graves for $11.99. Found it on clearance.
At Target.
Yeah, hold out for those clearance. And I don't know if there's an Ollie's near you or not.
Ollie's, Big Lots, Ross, even Ross sometimes have
Five Below
clearance.
has been
Five
getting them.
Below has been
Yeah.
getting some, and I've heard we didn't go by. We forgot. I saw a video, somebody else's video, and Five Below now has those comic packs like Ollie's does.
Yeah.
Again, we forgot to go by. We said we were going to go by and check it out, the Five Below in our neighborhood, and totally forgot. So we got to check it out. But check out Five Below because they've always had toys, like mainly pops, and then some other stuff started trickling in there. And now they supposedly have these comic packs like Ollie's does. So
find those deals where you can. Find those deals because, I mean, who wants to pay retail, especially as high as it's getting?
Yeah, and then, you know, and like we always say, you know, it's some things out there you want for nostalgia, but the quality is not that good, so you can easily talk yourself out of it. But if you can find a $20 figure for $5, you'll suck it up. You know.
Yeah, like when you found those Bucky O'Hares at Ollie's, there's no way that she would have paid like $35 a piece for them or whatever.
No.
Mr. says their area is beyond atrocious for collectibles, so unbearable hunting for anything in stores recently.
Yeah.
Shelby said Five Below, since the pandemic, not even the dollar store is $1 anymore.
I know.
No.
Yeah, because the dollar store is now in the $1.99 or $1.05 store, something like that.
Gilgamesh got carried away at PulseCon. That's Hasbro.
Oh, okay.
Spent too much money. Here
what, they put some new stuff out?
Well, yeah, we showed some today.
Last week?
No, the very last roundup.
Okay.
And I still missed a couple of things, but you know, it is what it is. You know, you try to find as many different things as you can to keep the roundup as diverse as possible, I guess you could say.
Yeah.
But you still miss stuff. I know I missed a couple of
Funko
items, that popped up after the fact. But what are you going to do? Shelby says the Walmart employees hide the good stuff. It's going out the side door.
I thought they stopped that. I mean, well, because they were doing it around here, but
it's against their policy. They would never do that.
Yeah.
It's against company policy.
They got so many complaints, you started actually finding stuff. But then
Target too.
Yeah. But then we're not really into it like all that anymore.
Yeah, we had backed off because it's too much of a hassle. Who wants to run around all over the place? Different store, and it wasn't fun. It stopped being fun.
It was in the beginning.
Yeah.
And then it wasn't. So then we kind of stopped.
And then also you have to counter in the fact of not only are you paying for the item, but you have to consider like your time, which is the most valuable thing you have. The time you spend running around, fuel, if you decide to eat while you're out, there's a lot of things to consider. Yeah, I mean, if you say, "Oh, I'm thirsty, let me go grab a drink" or whatever, it adds up. You're laughing at me, but it adds up.
No, it does. It does. And then, but when you find something, you don't think about it because you're like, okay, I'm actually finding the things that I want. But then when you don't, you really start thinking about that.
And then when you calculate it, you realize, well, damn, it would have been cheaper if I bought it off eBay, paid a little extra. Mr. says classic Walmart employees that they caught onto the taking items from Funko.
Yeah.
And Target employees have continuously took all limited toys for going on like 8 years now.
Yeah.
It's their side hustle. You know, everybody always tells you, get a side hustle. Get a side hustle. They don't work, but get a side hustle. That's also the people that you see at the flea market, and they make their own soap and stuff like that. And you know how expensive it is to do that? The components are not cheap.
Yeah, it's very expensive.
She makes our soap.
I've been making it for over a year now. We don't even buy soap anymore.
Yeah, it's expensive. It costs more to make your own than it does to buy it.
Yeah.
So,
but we know what's in the soap is 100% natural.
Yeah.
So we know exactly what's in it.
Oh,
hey,
Werewolf by lunchtime is in Australia.
By lunchtime, not by night.
Lunchtime.
Perth,
Australia.
I always wanted to go to Australia, but I've never been.
I was in Australia. I was in New South Wales way back in the 80s, a long time ago, late 80s. I was in Kensington, New South Wales.
Yeah. I always just wanted to go and visit, tour, visit, go wherever you go when you go to Australia.
And then there's Mark Franco. He says, hello from Cape Cod.
Oh, Cape Cod.
That's where they make the potato chips.
Yeah.
Cape Cod potato chips are actually pretty good.
Yeah.
Do they still have Wise brand potato chips in Massachusetts?
WISE?
Yeah, and it's got the
owl. Yeah, they sell that around here.
Do they? I haven't seen it.
They used to. I haven't seen it in a while because I don't.
Because I know that's a New England staple also.
Oh yeah.
Yeah, you see a lot of that in New England, the Wise potato chips.
Mm-hmm. Clam chowder.
And Werewolf says, beautiful country full of killer creatures. Spiders. Lots of spiders.
Kangaroos, the boxing kangaroos.
Yeah, the spider, they're not that bad. And Shelby says, yep. You mean the Wise potato chips? Is that what you're yupping?
I guess so.
Well, maybe. I haven't had Wise potato chips in a dog's age. I like the Cape Cod though because I like the texture. I don't like the Lay's.
Lay's is good.
Even though I work for Frito-Lay, I hate the super thin chips. But I like they're too thin. They're thin and greasy. You're eating the oil. Trust me. I used to work there.
Oh, thank you.
Oh, our Joseph. Yeah, they remembered we had our anniversary. It was just yesterday. Just Friday, and it's 11 years.
11 years.
As of yesterday, we were 11 years married.
Heading north.
Gilgamesh says best chips are kettle cooked. Yeah, and that's the Cape Cod. That's why.
Yeah, they're kettle cooked.
Thick and crunchy.
Mm-hmm.
And Joseph says many more to come. Yes, indeed.
Thank you.
I'm not going anywhere. You going anywhere?
I got them clutches.
Oh, no. She like talons. Yeah, tear me up. And Mr. said that's why you get the wavy Lays or Ruffles. Pretty much the same thing. It's still oil and GMO potatoes. They grow their own. But they've modified them. They have almost no skins, so they don't have to be peeled.
You could just cook them with the skin on.
No, because they don't want them with the skin. That's not what the recipe calls for. So it literally will come off with a brush. They have a rolling brush that they run the potatoes through, like at the car wash, and it pulls the peel right off because it's like paper. You could rub it off with your thumb.
I used to make Dunkin' Donuts.
Oh, okay.
Time to make the donuts.
Those were the days. Dunkin' Donuts has changed a lot.
Yeah.
The classic one, I remember, because Dunkin's is big in Massachusetts. There's a lot of them. And going in there, especially being a kid, and it's like, wow, the smells and the size of it, the scope of it, where they would have like 50 trays of donuts in the bottom and in the back and all the munchkins and everything. And now you go in there and it's not that much. They got like maybe 8 varieties out if you're lucky, and lots of coffee.
Or corporate Bill Gates.
Yeah, Mr. says we don't talk about the modified ingredients, seed oils, corporate Bill. Yeah, he grows a portion of McDonald's fries. I wouldn't be surprised.
He owns he bought up
tons of farmland. Yeah, it's crazy.
But anyway,
yeah.
On to an article I read with DC.
What did you read? Uh-oh.
DC is redoing.
Because I know where this is going.
Yeah. Well, it was just something I read about a comic, and I got excited for a minute because DC is going to revisit the Green Lantern, the original Green Lantern from the 40s, Alan Scott.
Golden Age.
Yeah. Alan Scott, and they're going to combine him with the Sector. So they're going to be, the Spectre, the Spectre. And they were going to collaborate together. So, I'm like, okay, that's cool. Those are 2 characters that I really like. And then, I read the little synopsis.
Yeah.
And I'm like, there we go. They're going to make him struggling with his sexual identity.
Yeah, that's what the story's about. Yeah. Really nothing else. It's another DC romance novel, basically.
Yeah.
And it's like, and the guy who's writing it was hired specifically to do that to the character.
Well, to
a Golden Age character.
A superhero from the 40s. So he could have made up a superhero and set it for the 40s.
Yeah.
You didn't have to take a well-established character and do that. But that's what they're doing. And, I just was like disgusted after that. The best potato chips were kitchen cooked. They changed the recipe, took out the trans fats. Now they taste awful.
Gilgamesh says they worked in a plant in New Hampshire a couple of times. They loved Dunkin's. They
Oh.
were everywhere. And Krispy Kreme is better. I don't care for the Krispy Kreme. I don't like a really, really soft donuts. I prefer the cake style, personally.
I don't eat donuts.
Yeah, and Uncarded is here. Thanks for joining us, Uncarded. Gilgamesh says they made Alan Scott that way a few years ago. It makes no sense with the life and kids he'd already had. Yeah, and they just totally rehash the character and swap them like that.
Yeah.
And wonder why they can't get readership. I mean, even in the 90s, you have to remember they were pumping out comics by the millions. Literally. It wasn't unheard of for 2, 3, 4 million copies of a book going out. I think even Death of Superman must have made like 7, 8 million copies. And I know that's a bigger story, but they were pumping out hundreds of thousands and even millions of titles. And even then, the writing wasn't as good as it used to be.
Yeah.
And now they're lucky if they can hit 35, 40,000 on a print run. And they wonder what the problem is. It's because the writing is terrible.
Yeah, and they're forcing these agendas on you, and it's like, you know, and I'm wondering what are they gonna do with the Spectre character? Are they gonna be a couple? Is he gonna have? Because it says that he's struggling to come out of the closet. So is he gonna have like a crush on Spectre or just somebody else? Or what are they gonna do with his wife and kids? Are they gonna write them out, or is he gonna have that and, you know, have this little down thing? I'm not gonna read it.
Can't he just save the earth like he always used to?
No, not anymore. But you know, I saw it, and they showed like I guess it was like a concept cover, and I was like, man, that looks really good.
Yeah.
So I read about
Green Lantern fan.
Yeah, so Green Lantern and the Spectre. I collect both of those comics. So, you know, to see that they were going to do like a collaboration, it's like, oh man, this is going to be good. Until I read the concept and how DC gave the guy the mission, you know, to do that. So now it's like, you know, they could have, if they wanted a gay Green Lantern, they could have made.
They could have made a new one. There's 1,000 Green Lanterns.
Don't take one that's already established.
Yeah, and the argument, you know, and then we'll hang it up. But the main argument is, I use the rock and roll argument because they say they're doing it for the next generation. The next generation isn't supporting your product. And it's I say it's the rock and roll argument because when rock and roll came out, everybody said, "Oh, it's terrible, it's trash, it'll never sell." It made so much money; it was insane. It made money hand over fist. So if it was selling, then you could say, "Okay, I guess it's just my taste."
Yeah,
but it's not selling. You know, your own people you're pandering to aren't supporting you. That's the thing.
Yeah.
Gilgamesh said, "Did you see DC upset the creator of Fables so much with how they were treating him? He decided to put the IP into the public domain." No, I didn't hear that.
Yeah. And then, what's y'all guys' thoughts on Hasbro PostCon the other day? Y'all haven't
really even looked at it, to be honest, because I'm kind of burned out on all of that stuff. Everybody's got their own con now.
Yeah.
And they roll out tons of stuff that half of it you can't find. Or they have exclusives that end up on eBay for like 10 times the price.
Ridiculous.
I got kind of tired of hunting and fishing like that. You
know?
Well,
I get why they started doing their own cons with COVID. You couldn't go anywhere, so everybody had their like private cons, and they were doing something, and I understood that.
Yeah.
But now all of that's kind of over, so we can get back together. New York Comic Con is back on. San Diego is back on. You can actually go there. I don't know how it's going to be because we're still on the writer's strike.
But also these companies figured out they don't need to pay into these big cons.
Yeah, because they can still sell the same amount of stuff, probably even more. Online. And I know Sideshow, during that time, they set up everything, and then they had like live streams where they went around and showed, and then you could type in, hey, can you show that closer, talk about this piece more, and they did that. So it was better because for people that couldn't go, because, you know, everybody can't go to the shows, and they don't really take a lot of time to show you what they have. You got to rely on the people that's there, that's scanning the place.
Yeah.
And they don't always,
which can be tough because you know, as you've seen in some of our tour videos, we've been lucky enough to get in early in a few places recently, but normally when it's full, it's hard to film around people.
Yeah, and then you know, even at New York and San Diego, you might have the press pass, but how many people got press passes?
Yeah, a lot.
100,
a lot of people.
or more than that.
Yeah.
So it's full again.
They're still crawling over each other.
Yeah, and you're trying to see, and you're trying to hear, and you're trying to make sure, okay, I can get every piece so the people that can't come can see it. But I don't know. Yeah, Super Friends used to save the world.
Used to save the world.
Superheroes used to save the world. Now I don't know what they do.
Yeah. And Mistress says, why does media have to include as many nods to gender as they can get away with? There was already a genre for that before now. It must bleed to everything. Yeah, and it's in everything.
Yeah.
It's in everything. And it just confuses things. And Gilgamesh says changing established characters is what upsets me. Yeah.
Yeah.
And I don't care how or who a character is if it's an original character.
Yeah.
And that's the point.
Yeah.
And Shelby said they got the HasLab Proton Pack.
I thought the Proton Pack came out like a year or so ago.
They get another one. They the Proton Pack was is that what you're talking about?
Did it finally come out? Hey, Gilgamesh, thank you.
Gilgamesh?
I mean, Stone Sour. Sorry.
And John says even toy manufacturers are embroiled in making toys specifically aimed at supposed alphabet youth. Yeah.
Yeah.
And it's not necessary because, you know, if you got a doll, a Barbie doll, it's your imagination. It's whatever you want.
Yeah, but people don't have imagination anymore.
No, that's true too.
And we've talked about it before. In every genre of pop culture, movie, TV, music, toys, people are bankrupt, creatively bankrupt.
Yeah.
So all you have is what's already established, and let me recreate it. Let me reimagine it. Instead of imagining out of your own brain, coming up with something new. Let's take something that's established, been done, been written, been shown already, been sung already, and redo it our way. Yeah, let's modernize it.
We'll re-sing the same song, and somehow because the music is louder, it's better.
Yeah,
I hate that.
Or we're gonna slow it down, or we're gonna what you call it when they do the
auto-tune
it to death and do some studio magic as they did. Who was that on The Simpsons?
Yeah.
Here's some studio magic.
They're terrible. Is there anything we can do about it? And the guy turns the dial, and the dial says studio magic, and he turns it all the way up. It's like, oh, that's perfect. Stone Sour made a $2 donation. Yes, Stone Sour. You see, they turned me back on again. I'm functional again. Thanks YouTube.
Yeah.
I explained that a little bit earlier. Yeah. They flipped me back on as easily as they shut me off and didn't say a thing. They sent me an email that said, "Hey, welcome to the YouTube Partner Program. You may now be monetized."
Again.
Thanks.
Yeah, thanks. And that's all they do. It's just
pandering.
Yeah, just repainting. But
Gilgamesh says, from what I hear, Disney's actually getting a lot of backlash for the new live action Snow White.
Yeah.
Even from people that usually support it.
Yeah.
Well, yeah.
People are tired.
Disney is hurting so bad they're considering putting ABC up for sale, and they've had the rights to ABC forever.
Yeah, since like the 80s or the early 90s.
70s or 80s, yeah. It goes
like
way
that.
back. They've had their hooks in ABC, and now it's just like, they might have to sell that.
I was hearing they might sell some of the properties they have, like the Marvels, the Indiana Jones, the Star Wars, and all that.
What would be funny is if they sold Star Wars back to Lucas at a discount and he fixed it. The stories are there. There must be 100 Star Wars novels, never mind the comic books.
Mm-hmm.
I don't know what they did with the new trilogy. I watched like the first one, and it's just like, it seemed to me all that Disney was interested in doing was killing all the legacy characters, so that they could push them away and introduce their own. And I was like, I don't want to see that.
Mm-hmm.
Everybody was expecting Dark Horse's Dark Empire, which was a much better story, or something like that. There's so much to choose from, and they chose to ignore it all. And it's unfortunate.
Yeah, Well,
Gilgamesh. Oh, I already read that.
yeah.
Yeah, a lot of backlash.
Yeah. And also,
and good, because if they're not going to do right, they should get backlash, and people should not use their product. You have to vote with your dollar.
Yeah, and that's something we've talked about a lot. The way you show these companies that you're unhappy is to not support their product by either not watching or not buying.
Yeah.
Don't spend your money. Keep your money in your pocket, and they'll stop what they're doing.
All of those people that will watch just so they can be outraged, because some people like to be angry, I guess.
Yeah.
And it's like, I watched such and such Star Wars show, insert your own, because they have a ton of them now, because apparently a season or a series is now like 6 episodes or something ridiculous. It's not like when we were kids. But it's like, the first 4 episodes are terrible, but then episode 5 was okay. So I guess no, you guessed nothing. The first 4 episodes were terrible. It's not worth watching.
Yeah.
If more than 50% of the time you're pissed off at the show, you're not enjoying it. I just a tip.
Yeah.
Yeah, Gilgamesh said Star Wars had such a good expanded universe already written in comic and novel form. It's money waiting to be made. Yeah. There's a ton of stories already.
Yeah. And
Indiana Jones too. There's a bunch of Indiana Jones novels, and some of them are pretty good.
And it's the same with Marvel and DC. They want to make this Marvel universe, this DC universe. They have stories. They have comic books that go back from the 30s.
Oh yeah.
They can pull out any one of those stories.
Back to the Platinum Age.
Yeah, they can pull out any one of those stories and expand it out to make it a little longer to fit your little 2-hour block.
Yeah.
And still be consistent and put out a good product. I mean, yeah, you're going to add some words and stuff like that, but you'll still have the basic concept of that story. And a true comic book reader would say, I remember that story. That's from Batman number 10.
Yeah.
Whatever. But no, we're not going to do that. We're going to just write something totally brand new and put some characters nobody ever heard of. And the ones they did hear of, we're going to change them up, because this person used to be a man. Now they're going to be a woman, and they're going to be black, and they're going to be this, and they're going to be that. And to the point that you don't even know who the person is. And it's like, why bother?
And when you don't like it, it's your fault. It's your fault.
Because you're
something's wrong with you.
You're a sexist, and you just have no feelings, and all of this right here. The new trilogy is awful, by the way. The first film of the most recent trilogy is the best. The second and the third are a train wreck. And the Han Solo remake was awful.
And what was it? Rogue One wasn't bad.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, and it's like they could have stayed on that course. They threw that out for you, and everybody was like, oh, okay, it looks like Disney's going to do a good job.
Mm-hmm.
No, apparently not. Shelby says same BS is going on in the guitar market.
Really? What? How can you mess up the guitar market?
All the same way you can mess up Listerine by putting it in a rainbow bottle, just so that you can show that you care. They don't care about you.
But see, this is
my thing. They don't care about you.
I've always said this. Sell your product.
Yeah.
That's it. That's all people want you to do. Is sell your product. If you sell, like you say, guitars, sell a guitar. I don't need to know your political view, your stance, your nothing. Sell the guitar, and that's all you need to do. If you Listerine, people want a mouthwash. You make the different kinds, cavity.
You don't gotta prove nothing.
Yeah, just sell it. If you make chicken, sell chicken. Quit doing all this extra stuff, and now you making people. Because I'm telling you, and we do it. If a restaurant, a product that we normally use, have a commercial and it has a political stance, we will not buy it anymore. We won't even go to that restaurant no more, because it's like, no, now you went too far.
You're trying to tell me what to think now.
Yeah. We don't care about that. If you are supposed, let's say Chick-fil-A, you sell that chicken.
That's it.
You sell your little chicken sandwich. You sell your lemonade and the milkshakes. That's it. Now you want to say that you're supporting this, you don't support that. Okay, I'm not coming to your store anymore. I'm keeping my money in my pocket.
Gilgamesh says he saw the Flash movie. It wasn't that bad.
Okay.
You went to see it for Michael Keaton. Tell the truth. Oh, and by the way, that wasn't Ezra Miller's butt.
Nobody was watching that.
I saw the thing. You know how they do the thing now where they show you with and without the CGI? His behind was digitally enhanced. I'm not kidding. Look it up. He insisted on having a nice big plump behind, I guess.
Then he needed to do some squats.
Yeah, because he's like a pencil. But so if you see it without the enhancement, he's like.
Oh my gosh!
That's the age we live in now.
Another comic that DC is talking about doing is a collaboration with the Outsiders and Challengers of the Unknown.
Yeah, Challengers of the Unknown. Those are a couple of old schools there.
Yeah, and I'm a fan of Challengers of the Unknown. I collect their comics. Getting close to finishing that run. I read the synopsis. It didn't say that
anything weird.
Yeah. So I'll keep on watching. Again, because I am a fan of Challenges of the Unknown.
You just keep collecting that Bronze Age stuff, sweetheart. It'll be all right.
I know.
While you can. Because as I keep warning people, is the Bronze and Copper are the new Gold and Silver Age. Because it's starting to catch up. The whole movie, I kept waiting to see Nicolas Cage Superman. Now I want the movie to get made. Because they had a lot of crossovers, and Nicolas Cage was in there, wasn't he? We didn't see it. So,
but you know they keep showing you that clip of him in the Superman suit, and it was a concept that they were going to use him for Superman or something, but they never actually made the movie.
Yeah, they did. I think I heard even Clint Eastwood was considered at one point. Way back in the
you're talking about like in the 60s
Not
and
last
70s.
week.
I know, like in the 60s and 70s.
Yeah, way back.
Yeah.
Like in Christopher Reeve's time. Christopher Reeve was a good choice, though.
Well, you never know.
He's had good chemistry.
I guess so.
Even though he was so nervous. That's how you know a good actor.
Right,
I've seen the no, because I've seen the testing when they scene testing. Let's put you in costume. We're going to film a scene. You just read it off, and we'll see how it feels. And he did it. He acted real clean. No breaks. But this costume, pit stain like this. He was so nervous. He soaked his suit with sweat. But you couldn't tell looking at him. His demeanor and the way he delivered it was excellent. Thor's there. He said, "Didn't know you were on tonight." Us either. What do you think about the Giant Man HasLab? If you disagree, you're toxic and haters. Yeah, now you can't have an opinion.
Oh, he took our choices away from us.
Yeah.
Fitting us in the box.
That's very modern of you, Anna Costa. But, no, I mean, it looks fine. I don't think it's going to make it, though. I don't know. I haven't looked at it in the last few days. So
to see the numbers?
Yeah, maybe it's bumped up. I don't like that it's got faceplates. I hate that. It feels cheap to me when they give it a faceplate.
Yeah.
He's not as tall as Galactus, but that's fine. You know, that doesn't matter. But I think he's 2 feet, right? 24 inches. It looks okay. We'll see. I'm not going to get one because I'm done with HasLab. Shelby says, "Save the original Wolverine comics. Was surprised they aren't worth much, so only buy what I like now." Yeah, there's only a couple. The first issue, because it's like the first Wolverine is Patch, and it's a #1, and then the one with him leaning against the Hulk.
What's the one where he got his claws out and you can see the Hulk reflection in it?
That is the Hulk.
That's the Hulk.
That's the Hulk, and that's a McFarlane cover.
And Wolverine's on the cover, and he's like, got it. Okay.
Yeah, it's a reflection.
Yeah.
That's been homaged a bunch of time. I hate that too.
But homage covers?
I'm getting sick of that because they do it too much. How many homages are there of Spider-Man 300?
Yeah.
Where he's leaping through the circle? There must be 500 of them by now. It's ridiculous. It lacks imagination.
Yeah. Especially when they do it comedic style. You know what I mean? Like if you got a classic cover, like they do it with Archie a lot. Like they had the House of Secrets with the first Swamp Thing.
Yeah, they did an Archie version of that. That was funny.
Yeah,
But
and then they keep doing it with other characters
you
too,
don't
though.
see too many of that one though.
Mm-hmm.
I mean, there's certain ones they've just beaten to death, and Spider-Man 300 is one of them. That's a whole video right there.
Yeah, Batman 227, but that was a homage.
Homages that are played. I should do that video. What do you think? Gilgamesh said they showed Nicolas Cage, Christopher Reeve, Superman, Adam West, Batman, everyone that played any of them, all CGI, but it was to show the universe as a real. And John says, what are your thoughts on the Nick Fury movie with Samuel Jackson? They're doing that?
They're doing a movie? Are you talking about the TV show?
If they're doing a movie, I think that's a bad idea.
Well, because the TV show didn't do well.
No, the TV show didn't do well because they've cheapened his character.
Yeah.
He's not like he was now. Now, instead of Nick Fury losing his eye to a grenade, he lost his eye to a kitty cat.
I took offense to that.
Yeah.
I actually did take offense to that. Because, I collect war books, and they have this whole big deal about Nick Fury losing his eye. And that's
when it was the Howling Commandos comic.
Yeah, and that is a key, because and it says it, the origin of the eye patch.
Yeah.
And he lost the eye. He lost the eye in battle.
Yes.
So that's heroic.
He earned it.
Yeah, that's heroic. And now you're gonna say that Miss Marvel's cat scratch your eyeballs out?
They've cheapened the character. They've done to him what they've done to Loki, what they've done to Winter Soldier.
What did they do? Well,
you remember Winter Soldier went from being a match for Captain America to get slapped all over the place.
Well, I never seen him get slapped. I never seen him outside of the Captain America movie.
Yeah, but they have a habit. Even Thor. I mean, look what happened to him in Love and Thunder. They have a habit of taking their best characters, their most beloved characters, and just cheapening them until it gets sickening.
Yeah.
And they're doing that with Fury now. So I would
castrating them.
I would hate to see a Fury movie at this point.
Yeah.
Mister says it would sound amazing. It would sound amazing if they did the original Avengers version Nick Fury.
If they did the Nick Fury that's in the comic book. Nick Fury,
that one.
Howling Commandos.
Yeah. But not the as he is now, where they've transferred his character into something different.
Yeah,
they've changed him too much. If they go back and they do it like he was in the original Avengers, when he walked,
I thought that was already out. Go ahead.
Loki season 2 is about to come out. They said when he confronted Captain America and Iron Man, and he threw the bloody trading cards on the table because Agent Smith was supposed to be dead, which apparently he wasn't. But he was like, "Congratulations, heroes." That Nick Fury, the one with some cojones.
I thought Loki, but see, that's the thing that messes you up when you watch those YouTube channels that review TV shows and movies. They'll talk about it for months, and they talk about it like it's out already, and then
you don't even know.
And so I always think, oh, this is out, or it's coming out next week, and then they're still talking about it, and then you will see a commercial for it. Oh, it's coming out in January 2024. You're like, what? They've been talking about it for the last 6 months and showing you clips and talking about this and the character, and this is what was said, and like, it's not even out yet.
It's not even out yet. Give me a break. Gilgamesh says that the best homage cover they've seen is Megatron on the Transformers snapping a picture using refractor, like the Joker in The Killing Joke.
I never seen that.
That sounds interesting, actually.
Yeah,
but then that's not one that's done very often.
Yeah.
I'm just talking about ones that are played out, like the Wolverine with the claws, and the first cover appearance of Deadpool. That one's done a ton. A lot of people do that one, and everybody hates Liefield's art, or Liefeld. I forget how it's pronounced. Eric says, I picked up the Super 7 Snoopy, Red Baron, and Lucy with them. Wow. Overpriced, but cool for Great Pumpkin fans. I'm really interested in those myself, but the price point puts me off. I can't. I'm thinking like 300 a piece. Wow, I would love it because they have Charlie, they got Franklin. I think they did Linus, right? Snoopy.
Yeah.
And Lucy
with the witch mask.
Because big Peanuts fan, then that's another dying franchise.
You know what would be cool franchise if they did Lucy with the psychiatric thing.
Oh, make her Booth.
Yeah, and make Snoopy with the doghouse that he can lay on and have Woodstock with him. That would be cool. Yeah,
Snoopy
that
was
would be
always cool.
Yeah.
Mister says, despite them ruining the character at every opportunity, the actor for Loki is fantastic. Yeah, he is a good actor, but they're cheapening his character's part.
Yeah.
They're excellent figures. I
Yeah,
just
they
you
are.
know, oh,
Godzilla
Diesel
film in
Monkey
chronological order.
binge watching. Yeah, that's a lot. There's like almost 100 of them, aren't there? I
Oh,
forget.
all of them. I only seen the latest one.
Yeah,
I seen the one with him and King Kong. I thought that was pretty
the
good.
new one she means. The new one. They've been producing them since 1954.
I don't like movies like that. That's like that Gamera. I couldn't get into Gamera.
Gamera is different because Gamera is the friend to children, and so little kids ride on his back and stuff.
And he spit out fire.
Yeah, he pulls his arms in, and then he spins, and flame comes out of the holes. It's like, where's it coming from? You retracted your legs. I don't understand. But Gamera is still fun though. Godzilla is better. Godzilla was always more serious.
I think I've seen 2 Godzilla films. I know I've seen the one with King Kong, and I think I've seen another one.
Diesel Monkey says, Mothra versus Godzilla 4th film so far. I'm loving these. They are fun, and the Godzilla is more a lot more of a serious film than that. One of my favorites though is Godzilla versus Hedorah. Or I think it's going to say the smog monster, and the monster is made out of pollution. He came up out of the ocean.
Oh,
this pollution created life, and it turned into Hedorah, and everything he touches, the flesh burns off of it.
The touch of man.
But it's got that famous scene where he stops for a smoke break, where the spoiler alert. If you don't want to hear this part, but he goes by this like coal factory or something. There's smokestacks and they're blowing out this black smoke, and he walks by and he looks at it, and then he reaches over and he puts his mouth on the smokestack and he starts taking a smoke.
You know which Japanese film I like? They had it on Riff Track, and it was the little kids and the teacher. They got stuck in some ape land, like Planet of the Apes.
It was the Japanese version of Planet of the Apes.
Man, that thing was hilarious. It was on Riff Track.
That's where the A-High counterfeit Planet of the Apes action figures, the 8-inch ones, if you ever saw them, that's what they're based on. Another one?
Oh, God, another Godzilla film.
There's another, and I can't think of the name, and maybe somebody knows it. There's another Japanese series, and it was a series of 3 films. And it was a huge stone, this is in the 70s, huge stone statue. And it was the protector of this village. You know how they make big stone statues? This big stone statue of like this warrior. It's probably 20 feet tall, right? And so the villagers get raided by government troops or whatever, and it's like period, 1500s Japan, and they're killing the villagers, and the old elder goes and prays to him. I can't remember the name of it. And then the stone statue stands up and it takes its hand and it raises its hand like this, and then it has a human face, but it's still gray. And then he goes out and fights with all the people, and the people are all this big, and he kills the whole army. It's like the whole next 90 minutes of the film is him stomping on people, killing soldiers. And there's a series of 3 of them. I can't remember the name of it, but man, it's a bloodbath. That movie it's fun though. It's funny. Oh, the Wahlberg Planet of the Apes line, the whole series. You mean the action figures? Because there was a standalone film with Wahlberg.
We just finished watching the Planet of the Apes cartoon.
Yeah, the original, 1974, 1975. And I think it was like a Hanna-Barbera production.
That was pretty good, but they kind of left you hanging.
They had left it open for a season 2, and it never happened. Basically, but the whole
series, Patrick.
Yeah, Patrick's here. Thanks for joining us. Oh yeah, that's the figures that they made. They were probably pretty inexpensive too, right?
Then Mark Wahlberg when it came out in the 2000s. Yeah, that one. Oh, okay, I saw that.
And then they didn't want to go with that, and they rebooted it again.
I thought the Planet of the Apes 2000. I think that was the name of it. Planet of the Apes 2000. I think that one wasn't bad. I think it was pretty good when they were in Washington D.C. and then they had like Abraham Lincoln, but it was
It
an
was an
ape
ape. That was at
and
the
all of
end.
that.
Yeah.
Yeah, I thought that one pretty good. I
You
only
know
seen it like
the
once.
and Zero looked like Janet Jackson.
No.
Furry Janet Jackson. Eric wants to know what your favorite pieces are from your Batman '89 collection.
Man, I don't know because I don't have that many because I got some of the cars. I have some vehicles. I got that cereal box.
She got the cereal box. That's right.
Someone sent me the bank.
Yep.
Yeah, I got the comic. I don't have like a favorite piece because I like when I get something, I like the whole thing. You know what I mean? So I don't really have a favorite piece. I just like having as many pieces as I can get. But I do like the Batmobile because I have the Batmobile. I like the Batmobile, and I like the Michael Keaton. And I know, but from the animated series, my favorite is the Batwing because I really want to hang that Batwing on the wall in a big old one? Yellow circle.
That Kenner mail order special.
Yeah, that DC Collectibles version.
Yeah,
I want to hang that on
that
the wall.
And the Batmobile, but she don't have the playset. The playset's kind of an okie doke anyway.
Isn't it like cardboard?
Yeah, it's like cardboard. But the people only bought it to get the Alfred because it's the only time Alfred was ever made in action figure form.
Oh, okay.
Thor says the Planet of the Apes was popular. I remember the cartoon show. I had some of those toys. Yeah, and the Mego Planet of the Apes from 1974, based on the live action version. Because at the same time as the cartoon was out, the live action version was playing on primetime television.
Oh yeah, they're doing a Beetlejuice.
Oh, that's right. Yeah, Beetlejuice.
They're gonna use up Michael Keaton while he's still alive. Try to get everything they can out of him.
How about Mr. Mom too?
Was that? Yeah,
yeah, he was Mr.
Him.
Mom.
That was him.
That was the highlight of his acting career before Beetlejuice. But hey, I mean, you got a legacy character. You may as well play it out. Hopefully, they don't screw it up. People wanted to see. I would have liked to have seen an actual standalone Keaton Batman film to round it off, as long as it was well done and written in the same format as the originals.
Oh, Crazy Hungarian says that Michael Keaton was so good in a Flash movie. Yeah. Too bad the movie.
Yeah, people wanted. That's what people wanted. I swear, most people went there to see Keaton's Michael Keaton,
and probably get a sense of. Thank you so much, Peter.
Oh, Eric, here's some quarters for the arcade. Thanks for the chats. Well, thank you very much.
We're gonna put it in a jukebox.
Oh, in the jukebox. Well, it's gonna go in the cat box, actually. Yeah. Well, you know, cats. We take care of strays, and we fix them up and heal them and get them rehomed. Yeah. And it's a task. So
yeah, but back to the Flash. I think people wanted to see if it was a chance for another Michael Keaton Batman. Another movie.
They could pull it off
because if he was in there, something would be said to make you believe that okay, another movie is coming out. So I think that's another reason people went to see it, because they want to know, okay, can I expect another movie?
Because most of the time it wasn't even him in the suit in the '89 Batman, anyways.
Who was in the suit?
A bunch of stunt doubles. The professional boxer, professional karate guy. Whoever they could put in that suit to do the scenes when you didn't have to look at his face.
Hey, Outside.
Out of Sight is here. Thanks for joining us this evening as we have a spontaneous, impromptu
live
stream. Joining everybody.
Yeah. Well, I don't know. I didn't realize that he wasn't in the suit. Now I know
in the '89.
Yeah.
Oh yeah. I mean, he must have had 20 different stunt doubles, so he could do all. So he could physically do all the different things. But I mean, he's in the Batman suit. You can't tell.
Yeah. But I know they said he had a hard time moving because the neck cowl part was so stiff. That's why he had to move his whole body around.
Yeah.
And that was something they were trying to fix with Pattinson, Batman, because they wanted him to be able to move a little easier.
Yeah.
So they made it. I mean, he still wasn't able to move his head, but he was able to move his head better.
Well, Gilgamesh wants to know about the puppy at the end of the video. How does he do with the cats? The puppy is at the mother-in-law's.
Oh.
It's at her mother's house.
Man, let me tell you about that though.
Oh no.
The cats at my mom's house and the dog, they all live together. They all sleep in the same cage. My brother bought this huge dog cage, and the dog and the cats sleep in the cage. The dog picks the kittens up and move them to where he wants them to be. If you pick up the cats, the dog comes and takes the cats out of your hand and put them down. They get along. I have never seen dogs and cats interact that way.
Mm-hmm.
And it was 3 dogs. One of them had got killed. So it's 2. And they all protect these cats. I mean, the cats, they play together. They sleep in the same container.
Yeah.
Because it's just a cage. They don't close it. They just so they can go in and out. And when the dog is ready to go to bed, he rounds them all up, picks them up, and puts them inside the cage. And then they sleep and they all curl up on them. And it's just the weirdest thing.
I don't know how the some of the cats that we're taking care of would take to an unfamiliar dog, even if the dog is friendly.
Mm-hmm.
You know, so because we got 13 we're working with right now. 13.
Yeah.
Because we had some we rehomed not too long ago, and then came across 4 more.
Yeah.
So we got 4 more, and they're in the house, and we're working with them because 3 of them are kittens.
Yeah, and the one is an adult, but her leg,
she can't walk. She walks like this, and one leg stays bent all the time. But we can't get them into the get her into the vet until for like at least another week or 2.
Yeah, it's like 2 weeks. It's like October 11th is the appointment date.
Hopefully she'll be all right. Sweet. She is like a baby. You can cradle her in your arms, and she just curls up and purrs. Other cats can't stand them. She turns into a little spitfire if another cat comes anywhere near her. It's crazy. Gilgamesh says it's cool to get along. My dog wants to play with my cats, but the cats won't let her. Yeah.
Yeah, these dogs. Well, the thing is, the mother cat and the lady next door that lived across the street from my mom had a dog and a cat, and those 2 got along. So then, when that cat had kittens, the dog was always there. So the cats always was used to dogs, and the dogs was always used to the cats. So now the cats keep having babies, and the dogs is always right there. So they grow up together, and they don't know any different. They love the dogs, and the dogs love the cat. And when the one dog got killed, my daddy was digging the hole, and they put the dog in the hole. All the cats jump in the hole, licking on the dog and trying to pull it out. My mom had to go in and pull them out, and they kept jumping back in. And it was
they didn't understand.
Yeah,
it's kind of sad.
Yeah, it was sad because you don't see that type of thing with cats and dogs, or with animals too much.
You don't see that with people.
God no. Lord have mercy. You sure don't.
Unless it's Boondocks. Oh Lordy, and she threw herself in the grave, and then Grandpa was like, "Get the shovel."
Yeah,
let me help you out.
You go to some funerals and they trying to pull you out the casket. I seen that before, and it's like, man, come on, get out that casket, get out, and they try to pull you out.
Oh Lord!
And then the person pulling that person, so then the casket tip over.
Oh no, that didn't happen.
Yeah, it did.
When here we go.
My cousin's mother died when they were kids. So her mother grabbed onto the body, and then the guy, I don't know who he was, if it was the husband or a brother or whatever, was pulling her to try to get her off the body, and the casket started tipping.
Okay.
But then it was 2 guys, they pushed the casket over and they pried her off.
Handling that all along. You know what you do? You start pushing her. No, listen. You start pushing her, and she'll freak out and be like, "Oh, well, wait a minute." Because She think you're gonna lock her up in there. Eric says he went to the comic shop today and it hit on me how many covers are women just standing and posing like on the cover of Vogue. Even the '90s had dynamic covers with story. That's an argument she brings up a lot,
all the time,
with the new covers. It's well drawn, but
not even that.
No, the artwork is well done. Is what I mean. Yeah. It's good art, but
it's just like a pose, like a photo. Yeah, like a photo shoot. If you get those classic, I'll say from the golden age to the copper, some 90s, even some from the 2000s, a select few. It has depth. The cover tells a story. The cover makes you want to read it. And then it had the word bubbles, so you reading this stuff on the cover.
Yeah.
Now it's just a picture.
Yeah.
And it's like, okay,
this
is a portrait. It is usually a female. Sometimes it's a man. If it's a man, they're usually in a dynamic pose. But still, it's no depth. There's nothing going on. Nothing really to make you want to read the book.
Yeah.
It's just, and then people be like, oh, this is a cool cover. It's like,
that's all you ever hear about the book is because they're selling the cover art. Because the art inside is not going to compare with what you saw on the cover anyway.
Yeah.
The quality of it isn't going to compare.
And I'm cool with buying a book
for the art.
For the art, sure. Because that's what got me into comics. I saw a cover and I'm like, oh man, okay, this cover is cool. And then they had the words on it and you read the words and I'm thinking that's going to be in the book. Most of the time it's not. But something was going on the cover to make me buy the book. You know, the book I hate is that Spider-Man book with nothing on it. It's just, and I know it comes in black. I think it comes in white.
Oh, they do that now.
And it's like
blank covers. Yeah.
And it's like, why are you selling me a blank cover? Oh man, and then you're gonna get it graded. What am I getting this graded for? It's nothing there. It's nothing about that Spider-Man book that made me want to buy it.
And Jay Philly says they totally agree.
Yeah, because he know that's true. There's nothing about them books.
And Gilgamesh says, the cover has nothing to do with the comic. Like Marvel put Spider-Man on other books just because, and he won't even be in the issue. Or you mean kind of like how they had that Eminem cover for Spider-Man? Was he in it?
No, because I was wondering, because I saw that cover. Now, I thought that was a cool cover. I'm like, okay, Eminem and Spider-Man.
The little rap battle.
Yeah, and Spider-Man is standing there, and he got the microphone, and Eminem is his turn. So I'm thinking the book is going to have that in it. It's going to have Spider-Man and Eminem in it, and Spider-Man, and somehow or another, it's going to be like, what was that, 8 Mile? When they had the rap battle. I'm thinking in my mind that's what's going to be on there, and then we talked about it, and you said no, Eminem not even.
No, it's a bait and switch.
And it's like, well, why did you go through all that and then charge people?
And people were paying crazy money
like
for that.
Thousands of dollars, and he's just on the cover, and it's no story. I would rather write up a little bit of story, and even take the story out of the 8 Mile. And put it in there like, okay, we're gonna handle this street style, and we're gonna have a rap battle, and then you even write the words out. Have Eminem even write the words out, because the writer might not know how to write a rap lyric or something like that. But do something like that to match the cover. So what is that book about?
I don't know.
That's a shame.
Something stupid.
That's a shame.
Spider-Man sitting on the toilet. They get plenty of toilet humor in the X-Men books now. You can't even read it. It's garbage.
We saw some book. Oh, we were watching.
It was a writer. It was a woman who was a writer, and somebody had challenged her to read some like modern comics.
I think it was an X-Men comic.
And she read an X-Men, and they were talking about comparing their asses
and their fingernails and stuff like that.
And she was like, what is this trash? What have you got people have me reading? What is this?
But it's like, I grew up reading a lot.
Yeah.
I read a lot. Not as much as I used to. Mm-hmm. But, I love Stephen King. I've read so many Stephen Kings, and I like period drama books, like what's the lady that did Sense and Sensibility? Anyway, I read a lot of books.
Yeah.
So then when you read a lot, you get an idea of how stories should go. Everybody is different. You know, Stephen King is different from Jane Austen, of course. But, you know, you got this, and then you get to some of these modern books, and you're like, this don't even make sense. How can you be a writer and you on the New York Times 100 bestseller list, and you can't even string together a decent paragraph to make me understand what you're even talking about? Stephen King would take 2 pages to describe a room.
Yeah.
You know, it take him 2-3 pages, sometimes a whole chapter. And it's like you get so much detail, but I don't know what these modern writers are doing.
Yeah, when I was a kid, I was reading Kipling. I had the complete works of Kipling. Kipling.
Some Stephen King movies are good now. Some, not all, but some of, like The Shining was good.
Yeah.
The Stand was good.
Yeah.
What is that other mini?
Rose Red.
Rose Red. It.
Yeah.
It was good. Not the new Stand, because they redid the Stand.
Perfect Storm.
Perfect Storm. That's the one I was thinking about. That was really good. The Langoliers were good.
Yeah.
You know, Stephen King got some good movies out there.
Yeah.
But oh, you worked for Stephen King.
Interesting.
But I don't know. It's like what we said earlier. I think we are creatively bankrupt in all genres: music, TV, movies, book writing, comic book. They just rehash, and we're going to take this story that's already been done. We're going to take this song. We're going to take this music line, and we're going to just redo it and make it new and fresh.
Yeah. Brolycon says, hope we're doing well. And did we know there's a new Toxic Avenger movie coming?
Rehash.
Yeah, there you go. And he says he always enjoyed the cartoon.
We're watching the cartoon right now.
The cartoon is nuts. The Toxic Crusaders is nuts. Jay Philly says the original It they prefer.
Yeah.
But there's some adult innuendos in there if you're really paying attention to what they're saying.
Yeah.
Like in the very first episode, and I caught that, and I was like, wait a minute, wind that back. Let me hear what he said again. Because before he was Toxie, and he was the janitor at the gym or whatever.
Yeah.
And the girl is trying, the girl and the boy, they're setting him up because they're going to humiliate him.
Mm-hmm.
And she's asking him, well, what are you doing this evening? And he says, well, usually I go home and I practice my burping for a few hours. And she was like, okay, what about after that? And he says, after that, I usually wax my chicken. And I'm like, wait a minute. That's an old school term for masturbating.
Nobody knew that, but
because waxing your chicken, choking your chicken, strangling the chicken, stroking the chicken, anything the chicken like that meant masturbating. And I was like, they just said, and it's not like an adult movie or an adult show. Like if you watch Shrek's not really written for kids.
No.
Toy Story's not really written for kids. Kids can watch it.
Yeah.
Because that stuff will go right over their head. This one was a kid's show. And I'm like, wait a minute. How did that slip through?
Because maybe that's not what they meant, because they didn't know that.
Oh, I sure. In the 80s, they knew. Or early 90s, whatever the hell that was written. They knew. If I'm old enough to have known, they knew. Gilgamesh said King's best movie is Shawshank Redemption.
Shawshank was good. I read that book too. Are you a fan of Elvira?
I used to watch it. She was okay. Mm-hmm. There was a lot of shows like that where they had some like pretend horror host.
Yeah.
And things like that. I mean, she was okay for the time.
The guy from Star Trek had a show like that. I forgot what the name was. You can find it on, I think, Tubi. He had a show like that where you just introduce the movie and interject throughout. He did that with Shatner. William Shatner did.
Yeah. William Shatner got around. William Shatner was in commercials for supermarkets in Canada.
Oh, really?
In the 70s and 80s. He was all over the place. If you really look,
Mm-hmm.
he turns up all over the place. His guest starring roles and things. He was in Kung Fu.
Yeah,
He
he
was
was.
the ship's captain, and he gave up. Remember, he was like, "All right, you win. Enough. Stop trying to fight him." With that like a Irish accent.
The one thing I like about Stephen King, he ties a lot of the parts, like Shawshank. He talks about that in the newer TV show. He had a new TV show, Castle Rock.
Mm-hmm.
Castle Rock, and it was 2 seasons, and the guy was in Shawshank.
He tries to
He,
imagine all of his stories are in the same universe.
yeah, and he
Basically.
tries to tie them in somehow or another. He'll try to tie them in some way or another. And I like that, because if you read the books enough, you'll figure it out. Like with Castle Rock, the second season, he tied that into what's the one where the lady breaks the man's ankles? Misery.
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 Yeah.
She was the main actress from Castle Rock season 2 was the lady from Misery, but you don't figure that out until the last episode.
I saw that in the theater.
What, Misery?
Yeah.
Yeah, I've seen Misery. I don't. I think I even read that one. But yeah, he tries to tie him in, and you almost gotta kind of know the stories to pick up on it to see it. Gilbert Gottfried had a show he's called USA Up All Night. Great
I
shows.
think I remember that.
Mm-hmm.
I think I remember him hosting a movie show.
Mm-hmm.
And Gilgamesh says Castle Rock is where several of his books take place,
Yeah.
including characters from one to another. I like that also. Evil Things, Dark Half, Cujo.
And so yeah, it's always Castle Rock and Derry.
Yeah, and Evil Things was a good one too.
Needful Things was real good. That guy giving people stuff and they imagining.
Yeah, they, you don't need it. That's the point.
Yeah,
and they were not honest about what they were, what the exchange was. That's the whole point. Is like, what are you willing to do for this? And the price was too high, but they did it anyways.
Yeah, because of greed. It just showed man's greed, and then once their eyes were open, it was all broken or messed up anyway.
It wasn't what they thought it was.
Yeah.
Wasted
Isn't that
time.
how it usually is?
Yeah, it's a good reflection on life. I like the Evil Things. I don't think it gets quite the recognition that it deserves.
Yeah. But I think Stephen King's a good writer. He just needs to stick to writing. Stay out of everything else.
Yeah, because he can get real vocally political, and it's just like, be quiet and write a book. Just
just
be
do
quiet.
what you call.
Don't tell me what to do.
You're a good writer. You can write up a story. Do that. Leave the rest of it alone. Nobody care about your thoughts and feelings and opinions. Write the book. And leave it at that.
And there you go. We came across a lot of children's books recently.
Yeah,
a lot of really, and I like finding vintage children's books when I can.
Mm-hmm.
And we had come across a bunch at a yard sale. There was a church yard sale not too long ago. It was last weekend,
and I felt bad for those people because they were, raising money for a mission trip, but then it started raining, and I mean, like, storming.
It opened up, and they were all out. The parking lot was full.
Yeah, the parking lot, and then they first it started kind of like dripping that big fat rain.
Grab those books.
Okay, that big fat rain, and then they started bringing out tents, but before they could even get the tents up, it just started downpouring, and it's like, oh man. And they had comic books out there, they had furniture and toys and all kind of stuff, but it was a donation style thing, so nothing had prices. You pick up whatever you want and you take it up to the front and you just donate money. So I thought that was a cool concept. I never been to a yard sale where they did it like that before, where you just donate however much money you want to donate. So I found that to be cool and interesting, an interesting way to do it. Plus, when you do it that way, you're more likely to actually sell stuff because people want a deal. Got your books?
Yeah, I got some bunch of books here.
Yeah. So we do like children's books, and when we see it at a good price, even at Goodwill, sometimes we'll pick it up. But we've been finding a lot of stuff at yard sales and thrift
Yeah.
stores lately.
Look at this. Snoopy, I never promised you an apple orchard.
The collection of writings.
Collected writings of Snoopy. I'll grab any vintage Snoopy book that I can find. I'm just looking for the copyright on this. 1976.
It's in good shape.
1976, yeah. And again, I'm always a big fan of the Peanuts. I love the Peanuts. Grew up with that. This I just thought was neat. And it's a little golden book. This is an early one too. We like kindergarten. We like kindergarten.
Not this girl.
No.
She didn't look like she liked no kindergarten.
Mishmash. And I don't know. I don't recognize this one. This one's from 76 also. But it's in that genre.
Yeah. And some books you pick up because it looks familiar.
Yeah.
It looks pretty old. And if the price is right, it's enough for you to say, okay, well, I'll look at it and see, you know.
This is the Worlds of Wonder Snoopy talent show. Because remember, Worlds of Wonder also made a talking Snoopy. Like they made, what's his name? Teddy Ruxpin. And speaking of which, there's the Teddy Ruxpin one I found. And this is Grubby's book because Grubby had a talking figure as well. The King's Tea.
I don't know.
Weekly reader book looked a little bit familiar. The story about Ping. Somebody colored on it though, right there. I think they colored on that, right? Yeah. And this looked familiar to me, so I was like, yeah. Let me have that. Now this one, I don't know who this is, but it just got in our pile somehow. Gilgamesh says, "Do you have any of the Mr. Men or Little Miss books?" No, I don't have any Mr. Men.
I never heard
I remember
of that,
Mr. Men. No, I remember that. Number one Marvel fan says, "I have so many books like this, mostly toy related, Peanuts, Smurfs." Yeah, would find 25 cents most times.
Yeah. Yeah, and it just bring back memories, and we like anything nostalgia.
Jackie,
that brings back memories.
And this book is actually kind of fun. I was flipping through it.
Yeah, the cat adopted the rabbit.
Yeah, there's a stray rabbit this mom and kitten found and like took it home. I mean, at first you're like, oh crap, killing a rabbit.
Yeah, I thought she was about to eat that rabbit.
Apparently, she just thought it was one of the stray kittens. So they
found herself a new home.
Old Black Witch. This one looked kind of familiar to me too. And it has a recipe for blueberry pancakes on the back.
But some of these books, it's on the banned list. And if we recognize that it's on the banned list, we'll pick it up. Because they're banning a lot of books. Yeah. Like in, what's that movie, Fahrenheit 451?
451.
Where they burned up all them books.
You can't pass up an early copy of Where the Wild Things Are. That's a classic.
Yeah.
Richard Scarry's Chipmunk ABCs.
Anything Richard
Scarry, grab it. I'll take anything Richard Scarry. I love the art. I love the simplicity of it. The stories are funny.
Super 7 has a Richard Scarry.
Yeah.
They just showed. We showed it on the roundup 2-3 weeks ago. They have one of those big old size like they did with the Peanuts of Richard Scarry. And Richard Scarry is a big universe. So I hope they do more.
Richard Scarry's This Is Me and some pig anatomy there for you.
So you can know where your bacon comes from and your ham.
Know where your diaper is. It says my underpants is what it says. And the
backside.
To get the backside.
We showed on our channel last Christmas the Richard Scarry Christmas. I think it was either the Christmas or the Easter special.
Yeah.
One of them. Because all of these things, these cartoons like this, they have their own Christmas and Easter and Thanksgiving specials, and
Yeah.
we try to post them up just for nostalgia's sake, so you can be like, oh yeah, remember I forgot that had a Christmas special or something like that.
Zebra. Grab this one if you find it. It's banned.
It's on. I don't know why it's banned.
I'm not
we gotta
sure
read
either.
it to remember.
The publisher, because the family no longer owns the rights to his properties.
Mm-hmm.
The publishing house, and this is one of I think 7 books they said they will never print again.
Yeah.
Because it's offensive, and I can't figure out what it is. You know, I looked through the book. I mean, it just looks like any other Dr. Seuss book. But I'm just like,
something in there offended somebody at one point in time.
And I don't get it. But this is one of those ones. If you see it, you should grab it.
Yeah,
there's a handful. They even people make the argument, oh, it's not banned because you can get it. Yeah, on eBay aftermarket, but they're not going to print it anymore.
No,
they're doing it to Roald Dahl's work still.
Yeah, but some of them they will print, but they'll change stuff.
Yeah, they alter things. That's what's happening with Roald Dahl.
Yeah,
they said
and
they want to make
Bernstein Bears,
like what is it? Charlie and the Chocolate Factory and stuff like that he wrote, and James and the Giant Peach. Oh, there's language that might be hurtful to people, so we're going to rewrite them. And people are, it's upsetting. And then you can't pass up anything with Mr. T on it.
Phony baloney.
Phony baloney. Want to have Mr. T as a buddy? Yeah, there he goes. Mr. T. Oh, there's a phony baloney, the counterfeit kid.
Oh my God.
This was a library copy.
Somebody didn't return the book.
No, they didn't return this book. Mr. T. Awesome. It's like, I pity the fool. Yeah, you gotta beat up the kid. There you go. But yeah, I love that kind of stuff.
Yeah.
Anything that's nostalgic somehow, or I remember it.
Mm-hmm.
It's like, oh, I think I've seen this book before, or I might have read this when I was a kid. Stuff like that, I'll grab. But anything, certain books, Dr. Seuss. If I see Dr. Seuss out and about, I'll check real quick to see if it's one of the ones that they're not going to sell anymore. Yeah. Anything Peanuts, Tintin, I'll grab Tintin.
Mm-hmm.
Things like that. Things that are, or anything Richard Scarry.
Yeah, Jan Barrett. She's an artist.
Yeah.
Well, she's an artist and a writer.
I think I got one right there. We can show the artwork from Jan Barrett is incredible.
Yeah, for a children's book, she puts a lot of effort and detail in the book, because I mean, you're like, man, the amount of detail for a children's book is just a lot.
Yes.
I'm watching the Fleischer Superman shorts, and luckily there is just a warning prior to the shorts rather than them being edited. Yeah.
Oh yeah, because a couple of them are anti-Japanese.
Yeah.
Oh, here's a couple more. Little Bear. Who remembers Little Bear? I remember reading these.
We watched that Superman a couple of months ago, because we go through and watch the old cartoons like that, and we were watching it. And we have some, but Disney, they just totally either changed it or they won't even release it. I would rather have a warning than you not produce it at all. Give people the chance and give them the option of buying
let them
it
make
or
their
not.
own decisions.
Yeah, or make a version that is edited and put on an outside edited version. Just like music. When you have music with explicit lyrics and you used to buy it at Walmart, the Walmart version didn't have all the explicit lyrics, and you knew that when you went to Walmart and buy this record, and it's going to be the clean version. Give people the option. Don't take their choices away, and then tell people that they're free and got diversity. Now this is the Jane
first
Barrett.
dog, but I mean, just to give you an example, if you look at the artwork there and the detail, and she always frames them up like this too, with all this artwork all around the outside. And I mean, you can count the hairs on that wolf. The detail is insane.
Yeah,
in her artwork, or like the woolly mammoth here. she puts a lot of effort into them, and the stories are pretty decent.
Yeah,
also,
they're pretty good
for
stories.
you're gonna read to a young child
Mm-hmm.
or whatever.
But TV shows that we're watching now, cartoon wise, as we're watching Johnny Quest,
Which is nuts.
yeah, it's actually really good.
Yeah.
Johnny Quest, and that's on Tubi, so you can see it free if you wanted to watch it.
Where at least one person gets brutally murdered in every episode.
Yeah, and then in the episode tonight, Johnny and Haji were shooting the guns.
Yeah, they were shooting
at crocodiles,
attacking
but still. The boat. And then they had this big giant bird, and the bird is snatching people up, and it's just that show. It's surprising because for a cartoon, you wouldn't think that it would have killing in it, and it's not like you know how you do on G.I. Joe, you just shoot and they get up and it's okay.
They can only hit targets, because if they shoot at each other, forget it.
Yeah, not on Johnny Quest.
No.
We're watching Brave Star. We're watching,
which is also surprisingly brutal.
Yeah.
It can be.
Yeah.
Yeah.
We just started watching Schoolhouse Rock tonight because we just finished watching Planet of the Apes. That was only one season, and I didn't like how it ended because they were in the middle of a story.
Yeah, of course.
But it ended. So now we're watching Schoolhouse Rock, and we're watching Toxic Crusaders.
Yeah, we saw the
grammar. Crazy.
The grammar rock tonight shorts, because for some of you are probably old enough to remember on ABC television during the commercial breaks between when you were watching your cartoon, you'd watch a couple of commercials and then you throw a Schoolhouse Rock short in there for a couple of minutes.
Yeah.
And some of them were better than the cartoons you were watching. They were fun. They're fun. They're educational. Yeah,
they did a 90s continuation?
The 90s continuation of the series, not so much. I don't remember the 90s continuation.
We tried watching the continuation of Defenders of the Earth from the 90s or 2000s. We couldn't get past the first 5 minutes of the first episode. It was awful.
Same thing with G.I. Joe.
Now, some of them was okay.
No, the raw G.I. Joe was fine. When the second series of G.I. Joe from the late 80s. You don't remember? It was really rudimentary.
Now, we watched one.
That was one from the 2000s.
Yeah, that was actually kind of good. And then it was another one from the 2000s that wasn't as good. Where is Buck Rogers?
Which Buck Rogers?
The animated Buck Rogers?
Or you mean Gil Gerard? I have that series.
Oh, you do?
Yeah, I've got the 70s Gil Gerard Buck Rogers. It's not bad writing. The show's kind of fun. But I have Mego Buck Rogers as well. Unless he's asking because he sees the black hole figures up there from Mego.
Well, we were talking about TV shows, so maybe they're talking about the TV show.
We watched Battlestar Galactica.
Yeah, we saw that.
And that was on around the same time as the Buck Rogers. We also watched Logan's Run.
That was awful.
The movie was better.
The TV show got tiring. The girl was tiring.
Yeah.
Because
she was stupid.
Yeah, and then after you realize that the guy and the robot were just playing along with her to like kind of placate her, but it got tiring, and you kind of just wanted it to end, and she never really got it until I think the very end of the show. She realized there is no sanctuary.
Yeah,
sanctuary is wherever you make it.
Yeah,
but the boy, he figured it out, but instead of saying something, he just kept going along with it, putting his life in danger. And they found a couple of spots they could have stopped and just lived.
Gilgamesh says the 90s Quest introduced a virtual reality world they'd fight in addition to their real world adventures. That sounds lame.
Yeah, that sounds pretty dumb. I mean, I guess I can see if you're like practicing, because they used to do that on Defenders of the Earth. They would go into this like virtual reality to do their practice fighting, but it didn't last long. They would show that, and then they would come out of it and then do whatever they had to do.
All of that is a copy of the Danger Room concept from X-Men that goes all the way back to the 60s.
Oh, really?
Yeah, because they had the Danger Room in the X-Men comics for practicing, and a lot of that is adaptations of that concept. But yeah, which Defenders of the Earth was all right, although
it grew on you.
Yeah,
it took a minute.
Yeah,
but it did grow on you.
Although their best episode is their PSA.
That
bar none. The no, it was the drug one is okay. The
alcohol
one,
yeah, because they had two.
Is the one.
They had two.
The one where the guy is drunk. That is the best one. That's one of the best cartoons ever written, especially PSA wise. Because usually they do the PSAs for those cartoons, and it's pretty stupid. It's pretty stupid. That one was hilarious, especially when Mandrake's adopted son goes to get a drink. He walks past Mandrake. Mandrake's like sitting there reading the paper, and he goes to the bar and he starts mixing a drink. And he's like, what do you think you're doing? And he says, getting a little hair of the dog that bit me. And I'm like, what? And he's like, excuse me, put that down. When you come here. It was hilarious. The whole expression and anything, of course, that means that you're already drunk and you're going to chase it down, or you have a hangover and you're going to chase it down. The expression. Bravestar had a great PSA too with that drug episode.
Yeah, but that boy died.
He actually died on the episode.
And then at the end,
and she was like, "He ain't dead. He ain't dead." And it's like, no, because he's like, "Marshall, should I get the doctor?" And Bravestar is like, "No need. We're too late." And then the mother freaks out, and 30-30's holding her. It's like, all right, it's all right. Calm down. It's all right. It's like, wow, okay.
NECA did have good Defenders of the Earth. I wanted to buy those, and I never did. I have the version from the cartoon. I would like to get the original Flash Gordon. And
the Mattel ones. Those are expensive.
Those are very expensive. But I would like to get that. And the Defenders of the Earth from NECA. Yeah, I like the card. NECA put it in the box. I like the card though, but they did look good. And they were, they didn't change it a lot. And even the box kind of looked like the original card. Hey kids,
just a big
had a toy swap meet next month.
Yeah.
See you at the time.
Make sure you bring more Bible story. Okay.
Oh, that's the one guy that buys. That's the one
that
the I'm all guy.
Yeah, I guess Ma. But that's why I say that, folks. Just to mess with him.
For Pete.
But the for the record show.
And you better not be laughing at my Jesus either.
No.
We don't have any more Bible books. Oh yeah, we do.
We got a ton of them.
We got a ton.
But yeah, because we bring children's book, cheapest children's books you're ever going to find.
25 cents.
25 cents at the when we sell them at the retro toy swap. Yeah.
TV shows and movies on Tubi that we're watching. Like I said, we're watching Johnny Quest is on there. Toxic Crusader is on there. I recently saw a list of like the top 10 Jackie Chan movies, and I got a ton of Jackie Chan movies, so I pulled them all out and I saw what was on Tubi. So Tubi has a lot of Jackie Chan. I like the older stuff from the 70s where he's actually in China. I think those are better than
because
the
there was
American-made
no stunt regulations. That's why he could do whatever the hell he wanted.
Yeah, and we saw a couple of his earlier ones, and that's on Tubi. We're still watching Highway to Heaven. We're still on Highway to Heaven. We started watching Matlock, but honestly, we haven't watched Matlock in a couple of weeks.
Yeah, we skipped it.
Because we always was doing something else. And what else are we watching on Tubi? I think that's it. And if a movie comes up and it's saved, then we'll watch it on if it's on Tubi, we'll watch it. Then we watch stuff on Roku. We're watching Outer Limits, the new Outer Limits on David Hitson. Outer Limits.
The new Outer Limits. it's hit or miss. Some of the stories are not bad.
Mm-hmm.
Some of the stories are like uber sickeningly liberal stories that
It
make
was
you
one
just
we
want to
actually
gag.
had to turn off.
Yeah, I
It
couldn't
was
watch it anymore.
so
It's like,
bad.
please stop preaching to me, please.
Yeah.
And the music is overbearing. The music is so loud sometimes you can't even hear what they're saying. It's like,
Yeah.
turn it down. Who is doing the sound mixing for this crap? But then occasionally you get a story that's like, hey, that's actually pretty good. So it's real hit or miss. It's not like the
Yeah.
original.
No, the original one was good, but this one, we watch it because we
And then
watch
they
it.
try to tie episodes together, or they rehash film footage from other episodes, but it doesn't fit what's going on. It's like, wait a minute, that doesn't make sense. That's not what happened in that plot.
Well,
You're altering it.
what they do is the final episode of the season, they try to say something's happening that tied the whole season in.
But
so then they're gonna take
really
bits.
fit.
Yeah, because you're like, that's not what happened in that episode.
They're counting on you not remembering.
Yeah, but then when you watch it, like we do, because that one actually, the Outer Limit, we'll watch that one episode a night, because we'll have a TV show that's long enough, and we don't care that much for that. We'll watch like one episode a night,
just
so
to round things off.
Yeah, to kind of fill the time before it's time to go to bed. But that's one of them. But it's not that bad. But it was one episode we actually had to turn off.
There's a couple I walked away from too, like the one with that soldier that was frozen. They thawed him out, and there were no men left on the planet. It was just women. They didn't need him. Oh, we don't need men anymore.
And then he was messing around with the women, and they found out and got mad. And one woman was killed the other woman because she fell in love. And that was her woman and all that stuff. Yeah, it got kind of creepy.
And they made it that he was still the bad guy by the end. And it's like, oh, give me a break.
Well, the part that really made it bad, the head woman that was in charge, that was her husband when before the war started. That kind of ended the world. So she knew it the whole time and never said anything.
And he was only brought out to set him up because there was some counsel that she was in communication with. They set him up on purpose to fail, so that they could demonstrate to the other women that they didn't need men.
Yeah.
And so it's like, give me a break.
So, and then, you think about it, and that whole men aren't anything, toxic masculinity, that's been growing. That's been growing for years, because the new Outer Limits
early
started
90s, I think.
In the mid 90s through the early 2000s. That woman only episode is the only episode I've seen. I haven't tried another yet.
Yeah, it's unfortunate.
You ain't missing nothing. Like I said, it's a handful that are.
They got a couple.
You might get caught in on one hand.
Like the one that was one episode that is good is the one with the internet.
Yeah, that one was actually really good.
It ties in with it ties in with what's going on in today's world, where everybody, except that it's like Google, but everybody had Google implant.
Yeah.
And so they had an implant that they put in their head so they could connect to the internet immediately. And it would, everything they did, they just follow instructions, like how most people use
the internet does.
No, well, when they're driving.
Oh, the GPS.
GPS now. They don't actually know where they're going. Turn left, turn right. And so, surgeon, cut here, do this.
Yeah.
Whatever it is they do, the job, they just follow the instructions, but they don't actually know how to do it.
Yeah.
He was allergic to whatever the procedure was. So something that needed to be implanted in him, he couldn't tolerate his body. So he read all these books, and everybody picked on him, called him dummy and retard and whatever, and treated him like crap. Then the net crashes.
Mm-hmm.
The net goes down permanently.
Mm-hmm.
And they're all, duh, they can't read. They don't know how to do their jobs.
Yeah.
They don't know how to eat. They can't do anything. And he's the only one that knows anything because he had to do it on his own. And that's a really good episode.
What is it?
Music.
How?
I don't know.
Let me go see what that is. Stupid cats.
Music just went on upstairs. And I didn't hear anything fall. I think they might have knocked something down. Cats, folks, because we have 8 in the house and 5 outside right now that we're taking care of. And again, we got the 4 new ones that we just picked up. For Dusty, Dusty's in here now. We had the kittens will be easier to rehome. Kittens are always easier to rehome than older cats, and some of them they have certain idiosyncrasies that, or something about their appearance that makes it difficult. Like Uncle, if you've seen Uncle Cat, he's a tuxedo cat, but he weighs 20 pounds. It was like 19 pounds and 13 or 14 ounces at his last weigh-in. He's just big. He's not flabby. He's just big. People take one look at him and they're like, I don't want that cat. But he's a baby. You can cradle him like a damn baby and pet him. And he sits there and purrs and looks all goofy. But, or Miss Kitty. Miss Kitty will try to kill you if you touch her.
Somehow Alexa just came on and started playing the news.
That's why I hate that stuff.
She does whatever.
It heard me talking about how like AI and everything is bad just now. It's warning me.
The Alexa thing was just on, and it was playing the news, and it's like,
why? I don't even want to know what's in the news.
No, I mean, I don't know what's up with that stupid thing. It just comes on, and then it'll just tell you a joke, and it's like, we didn't ask to hear a joke.
I did that a couple weeks back. It just started telling a joke,
and it wasn't funny because Alexa has just like one tone.
Yeah.
So.
And it was trying to articulate.
Mm-hmm. And like it. I don't know what's wrong with this stupid thing. Or you'll be talking. I don't understand that, or I can't find that. I didn't ask you anything.
Yeah, I didn't ask you anything. Shut up, stupid.
Or Alexa, but.
And then when you want to ask her something, she don't know anything.
Yeah, she's like, I don't know. What's that?
Dusty.
You don't have anything in your shopping cart. Yeah, that's Dusty.
Would you like me to fill your shopping cart? No, yeah. I don't want anything in my shopping cart. Leave me the hell alone.
Yeah, I don't want to buy nothing. I want to be left alone.
Hello, little girl.
But anyway.
She's a sweetheart.
No, she ain't.
She is.
All she do is cry.
She is harmless. She's sad.
She is.
She's a sad baby. That's what it is. She gets lonely very, very easily.
Then she just stands there and cries.
And just cries until she sees somebody. Another cat, one of us.
Or you call her.
Yeah. And then she'll come running. And calms down.
Kid.
Yeah. Just lonely. That's all. She's just lonely.
Yeah.
But that's all right. She just wants some attention, and that's fine. I understand.
Mm-hmm.
I understand, Dusty. That's why I'm here, baby. Aw, poor baby.
See how he acts with these cats?
And as long as I'm not putting her in a stroller.
Oh, God.
People do that. They have the cat and a dog in a stroller, a little dress on, their nails painted and stuff.
Oh.
Or put them in a baby carrier. They got them on the front carrier. And it's like, oh, they got a little baby. No, wait a minute. It's a dog. It's a dog or a possum. I've seen that a couple of times in the supermarket. It's a woman with a possum. It's always a woman. Got a pet possum, and it's like, all right, the one thing though with an animal like that, you can't house train it. I don't think. A raccoon you can house train. I don't know about a possum. If you want,
I don't want none of that mess in my house. A cat and a dog is enough. A fish in the fish tank. That's it.
You can't potty train a fish either.
But it's in a fish tank. And you're not like that stupid guy on a commercial that's running with the fish
tank. And like anybody would actually do that. You want to run with a fish? She'll run with a fish in her teeth. Isn't that right, Dusty? She's a good girl. It's my little friend here.
Anyway,
what
were we talking about?
There's a guy on YouTube.
Mm-hmm.
Oh, takes his duck around with him on a stroller. There you go.
See, it's always people out there doing weird things.
That's where you end up with them animals that go nuts on you because you take them out of their element. You can be friendly with them and stuff like that. And just, being really friendly with her right now, and she's fine. If I try to humanize her, that's when she's going to start getting crazy. I think that's what makes a lot of these animals crazy, is when you humanize them, putting them in the little dresses and getting them dyeing their hair. And you see people with it dyeing their animals' fur pink and all kinds of crap like that. Crazy stuff. It's like it's not a human being. It is just an animal. You have to let it be one, or else it's going to go crazy.
I guess.
You know, the other problem with new hour limits is it's hard to remake a show when the original show is still relevant.
The same with the Twilight Zone.
That's why the Twilight Zone remakes never work.
Yeah.
No matter how many times they try it. Because the original show is better written, better acted, better shot, even though it's in black and white.
Yeah.
The cinematography is excellent.
Yeah.
And they really made the angles and the black and white contrast work. And
like on Citizen Kane.
Excellent use of negative space. Yeah, Citizen Kane is an innovator of that. It did some of that for the first time in films.
It's like the best movie ever.
Like the shot coming through the floor. Yeah. And they actually drilled a hole through the floor to do that shot so we could have that odd angle.
Yeah.
Things like that. Innovative. And the stories still matter.
Now the Twilight Zone from the 90s and early 2000s, it wasn't horrible.
Yeah.
I mean, it wasn't amazing.
Was not as good as the original Twilight Zone. Oh, Black Knight's got to go.
See you, Black Knight.
We're glad you could join us.
Yeah, thank you for all the comments and everything. Dear. We really appreciate it.
Oh, also watch for us live on Wednesday.
On Sticky Goose.
Sticky Goose. He's going to host us on his channel.
Yeah, and we'll try to remind you by putting up a post.
Yeah, so that you can join us there if you'd like.
Yeah, you can comment and just watch or whatever. But yeah, we're supposed to be on his channel, and we're going to be talking. And
I think it's mostly. I think he's looking for an industry discussion.
So we're going to have an actual discussion, not like how we do. We
not shooting the breeze necessarily, but
I think he got something a little more like
structured in mind. Yeah, and which is cool.
Yeah, we do that. Yeah, and if you remember, he was on our channel.
That's right.
We hosted him. A few months back, he was on, and we had a good time just talking and doing that. So, we're gonna do some more of that.
Yeah, we're trying to get back into some more of that.
So having
more collaboration.
Yeah, we enjoy the collaboration when we can find people to collaborate with.
Justice Curry was on.
Yeah, he was fun.
And who else? Collectibles 6.
Alan comes on a lot.
Yeah, Alan was on a couple times.
Yeah, we're going to be inviting him back soon.
Yeah.
So we can see some good books.
Yeah, Collectibles 6 has a lot of great books too. Alan and Stephen. Collectibles 6.
Stephen and Alan.
A lot of, and we had Daniel from Arkham.
Yeah.
Arkham Comics was on. A handful of people. And that's always interesting. Just to get some different perspectives and things like that.
Talk about the industry and the toy market and stuff like that.
Yeah, comics.
Primarily
comics, because with Sticky Goose it'll be comics.
Yeah, we've tried reaching out to toy people. We don't really get a lot. I mean, we have had what's his name? Johnny, and we've had Lou from Mego Like, and Johnny from MIB Master Museum. But it's hard to get toy people on.
Bishop.
Hey, Bishop.
Love the plastic comment gauge episode you both did. I like the independent obscure comics. Okay, yeah.
Yeah.
I like that kind of stuff. And some of it's worth a lot, some of it not so much, but that's okay. Rare doesn't always mean valuable.
Yeah, and you have to collect what you like. And I think that's where a lot of people get thrown off.
Yeah.
Because they listen to other people. So, you watch a lot of channels and you listen to the comics you have to buy now. And it's not just comics, it's toys too. You have to buy now. So then you end up buying stuff that you don't like. Or you don't really want because you never asked me. Who is this?
It says Facebook user. They're watching on Facebook, and it's not going to tell us who they are unless they authorize it on
okay.
Facebook. So you'll have to tell us who you are because it just says Facebook user, unfortunately.
Yeah, so we can ask you. But yeah, but so people get thrown off, and it's like, oh, don't get that book because it's a dollar bin book. It's only worth so much. And, it's like you
Like
get
that
what you want. You get what you
in
like.
that episode, I showed that Hilly Rose.
Yeah.
And that's a tough book to find
Mm-hmm.
in decent shape.
Mm.
Hilly Rose is a tough one, and that's a 9/8 book. And I like it. I like
Oh,
it.
David Alexander.
Oh, we know who that is in Canada. Yeah.
He can talk us to death.
Oh,
You
yeah.
should have him on.
Oh,
That'd be
and Toy
funny.
Chic is
Hey,
here.
Mark. How you doing? Superstar.
Strange time to see you guys on. Yeah. We were just doing spontaneously came on some time ago, checking in with everybody, see what's going on.
And check out Mark's channel.
Yeah, Mark has a channel also.
Yeah,
right.
Toy Chic. And he does a lot of stuff. He did a big one where he got some toys that he was doing like a house clean out or something. And he had got a bunch of toys from that and different things. So check out his channel. He's doing a lot of stuff there.
Oh, Dusty.
And you'll see some great stuff.
That's right.
Yeah, but oh yeah, we're talking about buy the things that you like. And again, I think that's where a lot of people get messed up because they listen to what other people have to say instead of listening to their own wants and needs and what they pockets can afford.
Yeah, or they feel like they have to have something. And then maybe afterwards they're like, do I really need this, or why did I get this?
Yeah,
or,
I don't like this at all.
What's up, Dusty? You want to move?
Yeah.
You want to get up? Okay, you can get up, Dusty. It's all right.
And you're gonna walk all over the keyboard.
Or she's gonna jump down, look around.
But yeah,
she's all right. Dusty is pretty mild. She's not likely to hurt anything down here.
Mm-mm.
She's not the type. Uh-oh.
Well, for tomorrow's video, Funko is getting destroyed. Literally. Oh no!
Are they? You're gonna rank on Funko Toy Chic? Shame on you.
He's gonna tear up some of the Funkos he got.
You're gonna put them in the microwave.
Oh God, no! Don't do that.
Melt them down. Set them on fire. Shoot them with BB guns. They'd make good targets.
For target practice.
Shoot their little fat heads. Poor Funko. Funko get a bad rap. Well, they set themselves up for it. Honey, you can't fit between the cables.
But I mean, they could do more things that people would like. They're trying to do too many gimmicky kind of things, and it's not taking off.
Yeah.
70s action figure custom. Yes. Now, if you know David Alexander, he does a lot of custom figures.
Yeah.
Custom, like the Mego figures?
No.
What they're custom 6-scale figures. 1/6 scale
figures. And he gets like a lot of like $6 million man.
Yeah, that's what I'm thinking.
But he's also big on the like Force 5 type Robo stuff.
And he gets the custom Japan. Clothing.
Yeah, customized clothing for the figures.
Man,
it's a lot of work.
Yeah, because I know. Well, he's not here. Robert online. He does a lot of the kit bashing and stuff like that. But yeah, David,
custom 12-inch.
12-inch
or thereabouts.
Yeah. So he got a lot of nice things. I've seen the stuff that he's shown, and they're pretty cool.
Yeah, because I've been on a couple of like lives with Lou on Mego, like where he'll bring in a bunch of people.
Yeah. And David always show all of his stuff. Yeah.
That sort of thing.
Yeah. I like the custom, but boy, the cost to get those heads done.
Yeah, it is. It's expensive.
That is expensive.
Oh, that's right.
But
Ralph Bakshi, Lord of the Rings Fellowship, the original Lord of the Rings animated.
They had an animated show?
Special in like the 70s. On television, and he's been getting Reston's here. Thanks for joining us this evening. He's been getting them customized, making them cartoon accurate.
Yeah.
So yeah, that's an undertaking because I don't think they've ever been done. I know Knickerbocker. It was Knickerbocker, right? Made action figures from that in like 3 3/4 inch. Stupid expensive.
Really?
Yeah, I mean it was real obscure even at the time, and to find those carded. Oh, it's like pulling teeth.
Oh, wow.
Yeah, they're very expensive. But I don't think much else has been done with that version since. Yeah, he says correct. That's the Knickerbocker. I thought that's who did that. Knickerbocker, forgotten toy company with a lot of forgotten toy lines.
Yeah, because I have
died with them.
Yeah, I have the Knickerbocker, some of the Sesame Street, the Raggedy Ann and Andy. I know they did Holly Hobbit. I don't have any of the Holly Hobbit. Holly Hobbit.
Yeah.
And yeah, but you don't find any of these stuff.
Holly Hobbit, dead franchise. Raggedy Ann and Andy, dead franchise.
Yeah.
They're just gone. And like my Knickerbocker 1/12 scale Sesame Street action figures that nobody's ever heard of.
Mm-hmm.
Very hard to find. Not worth a lot. They're probably worth $50 a piece, but they're great. Yeah, he said the heads are costing over $2,000. Yeah, there you go.
God,
I've seen a few pictures of them on the Facebook too. They look pretty good. Toy Chic says you get in the Mondo Phantasm. I forgot to show that this week. I got to put it up next week. You have till Monday afternoon on buying mines tomorrow.
No, sir.
From the Phantasm, the movie that was played in theaters.
We saw the Phantasm. Yeah. Wasn't it like 3 or 4 of them?
No.
Oh, it was only one.
One film.
Oh,
no, not that. Batman, the Phantasm.
Oh, Batman Phantasm.
The movie.
Yeah. The showdown in the amusement park. Yeah. I know what you're talking about now.
You're thinking of the horror film. The
Phantasm. No, I'm not buying nothing. I'm trying to back off. Of buying everything. Toys, comics, records. I'm trying to back off. I got some
records. We've had some like incredible luck with the records.
Man, yeah, we've had a lot of luck with records lately, and we've been getting a lot of stuff in and going through, and it's very few that either are duplicates or we just plain old don't want. Like we had got some, and it was some classical stuff in there, like Bach and Beethoven, that kind of stuff we're gonna get rid of.
Yeah.
But for the majority of it, it's stuff that we want, and it's just cool. I'm looking to pre-order the Mondo. I didn't know Mondo was doing that.
One.
I have the NECA Nada, and what was the black guy's name?
Oh wow.
The one NECA did, I have.
Yeah.
I have that. And they did the Thing.
Can you get away from me?
I didn't know Mondo was doing it, so I'm gonna look that up. I watched your Goodwill short. I thought you could have bought that bat for 10 cents.
They wouldn't have done it. They wouldn't have done it.
Yeah, sure.
It's a little mini bat. It was something left over from a yard sale. They didn't take the 10-cent price tag off.
I haven't bought a statue. The last statue I got was that Heath Ledger Joker, and that was on pre-order for about 2 years. And that's the last statue I bought. I have none on pre-order. It's no statues that I've seen that I'm even interested in. But I haven't seen, because David never shows statues. And honestly,
I stopped showing them a while back.
Yeah.
Because the prices are so outrageous.
And I don't even go on the Sideshow website anymore. I used to go on the Sideshow website, and you could see like the Sideshow, the XM and the Prime ones. I don't even go on those websites anymore. I mean, I have a ton of statues. I can't even put them up, and the cost. There are about 2 statues. If I won the lottery, I would buy. But, it's nothing out there really right now that I can say, man, yeah, I want. Well, I would have to see it, obviously, but no, it's nothing out there. I don't have anything on pre-order. I'm gonna kind of try to stay away from statues for a while because I just hate it. I'll put it out for a while. It'll sit up for a few months or a year, and then I'll pack it up and put something else out. So I got up all my Jokers right now. I have my 3 Joker statues and my Keldor statue, and the rest of them I have packed up and put away. Vinyl prices has gone crazy here. Around here, they're not too bad. I mean, we go to the vinyl show. We find them at Goodwill. We find a lot on Facebook Marketplace. Um, so we'll find at the flea market. We've shown some videos where we went to the flea market and we bought out some lots at the flea market.
Yeah.
So they're not in our area. They're not too bad.
Yeah.
No, I don't collect movie props. David don't either.
I used to have some stuff, and it was part of that collection that was stolen years ago because I had some original props from Nightmare Before Christmas. I had some pieces from that.
He asked, did we order the caustic plastic?
He said he ordered the caustic plastic.
I did pre-order.
Yeah.
Do you mean Fonzie from Happy Days?
Yeah.
Oh, okay.
Yeah. Caustic plastic.
I remember seeing that. That did look good.
But yeah, I had a few pieces from the original film. Edwin says, "Don't put Funko in microwave. Don't forget to add water to your cup of noodle before microwaving. Lots of smoke, and the alarm went off, and the smell took weeks to go away."
Okay, so I guess Edwin did that.
Oh, Edwin! Oh, busted!
Because he knows. Because he knows. But yeah, I don't know what's going to happen with Funko. Now, I ain't gonna lie, this week they came out with 4 pops that I am gonna get. I'm not fully back on the wagon. But it is 4 pops out there that I am.
That's what Toy Chic's asking you right there. Did you see the no heart there?
They have Garfield. The Garfield from Halloween.
I missed the Garfield.
Yeah, they have the McDonald's one, the Care Bears, and the Toxic Crusader. Those are the 4 from New York Comic Con that I might get. I probably won't get the Toxic Crusader, but the other 3, they're going to be on the Funko shop. So I'll try and get those. If I get them, I get them. If I don't, I don't. I'm not going to be all that concerned about it, but I will try at least to get the Care Bear one. But I do have everything from the McDonald's so far. And
hey, and the McDonald's is classic.
It is classic.
And they've done away with it. It's so sterile.
Yeah, David just did a short in the McDonald's.
I didn't.
Oh, you didn't?
I didn't do it.
Oh.
We were in a McDonald's and it looked like the inside of a subway. A subway station. It looks it's just so unappealing. It's like you're waiting for the train.
But now they make it where you don't even want to sit. You want to just sit, eat your food, and go. You don't want to sit and waste time and like how you used to just go and hang out.
Make it unpleasant. You won't hang around.
Yeah. But people like to go in McDonald's. They meet up with the insurance guy and all of that, and they get free refills all day and use up the free Wi-Fi. You stay on the way at your shopper. No, I'm getting back off after I get these 4 pops. I'm jumping back off.
Yeah, he says 1/6 scale. Way too high. I don't understand why collectors want such hyper detail. It's a fetish. I like the old sideshow figures. But
now the old sideshow figures are not expensive because they have the Universal monsters, and you can get those for like right at $100 or less. I bought the sideshow Twilight Zone.
That's right.
All of them were under $100.
Outer limits.
And the outer limits. All the outer limits were under $100 except for 2. And that's because there were 2 packs.
Yeah.
Like the 2-pack. But they don't cost that much. And I think a lot of people sleep on those sideshow figures. But they do have the Universal monsters. And I told myself, because I want a 6 scale Universal monster, and Mondo act like they were going to do it for a minute. And then they stopped after the first one.
Mondo.
Yeah, that's what's in Mondo. They did the Creature from the Black Lagoon.
Shelby says, when are they going to remake the USS Flag G.I. Joe carrier? I don't know, but rumor has it Super 7 is...
Are you serious?
No.
Oh,
not
no.
The Flag.
Oh.
No, slow down.
Okay, slow down.
But the Super 7 has a model for the Cobra carrier.
Cobra had a carrier?
Do you remember the G.I. Joe? There's a giant flying Cobra head.
Oh yeah.
And they're all the mouth opens and all the ships come out of it.
Oh,
that they're building.
Wow.
They got that. And it's like, oh, they're making that playset for
Wow.
I'm not sure what scale. I heard
the
scale is for their 3 3/4 inch reaction figures and not for their Ultimates figures.
Well, that would be good because then I mean it'll still be big, but it won't be so big. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Yeah, the old sideshow was good.
Yeah.
Last McDonald's I went to, the employees didn't take orders. Yeah. But they took orders when we went.
Kiosk. They trying to force that more and more.
Yeah, but if you stand at that line, they'll come over there.
Yeah, he says, I don't need bodies made of medical grade silicone. That stuff dries up and cracks anyways.
Yeah, because when I had mine done, I just went on eBay and found a body for what, like $20 and slapped that head and some clothes on. Seem to be getting a lot of old school license. And that's what I think helps keep them alive. Because they pull on that nostalgia heartstring.
Yeah, like this, like the Schoolhouse Rock.
The Schoolhouse Rock, because I'm getting that. I had to get the Schoolhouse Rock.
A lot of the modern stuff that they do, it's like, who cares?
Yeah.
You know, it's a, oh, we made a pop of some weird guy from some show that nobody gives a shit about.
Yeah.
You know, and but that's not what draws people in, really.
Yeah.
Shelby said they're afraid to buy Sideshow for the joint tears.
Oh, I wanted to.
Oh, I'm sorry. Go ahead.
No, but to the second part of the comment, like people like Super 7 and NECA, they get some of those old classic cartoon characters and they're redoing it. Some, you know, like Super 7 is doing the Peanuts and the Richard Scarries and the G.I. Joes. And then NECA does like the Flash Gordon and things like that.
Yeah.
And it's, I guess, somewhat affordable, you know. So they're out there, you know. But you want more stuff. Afraid to buy side. Oh yeah, we read that one.
And Gilgamesh said he heard the Super 7 is doing the Cobra carrier for the reaction line.
That's what you were just saying.
They're not going to make it in scale for something as big as their Ultimates.
Well, that would be nice because they do good with those big things. Like I got the Thunder Tank. They did a really good job on that Thunder Tank. I didn't get the cat.
The cat slayers. Yeah, there was some kind of a problem with her trying to link up in the account and they could never resolve it.
Yeah,
so she just gave up.
Yeah, I thought it was a sign. So I didn't
if I got that Cobra carrier, and I can imagine this is what most people would do, they wouldn't use it for the reaction figures. They would use it for the raw Hasbro G.I. Joe figures because the scale would be the same.
Yeah.
I would fill it up with Cobra action figures.
I mean, you got some and you got a bunch of loose ones, so you might as well.
Well, they have the Terrordrome.
Take some out.
No.
And you can find those pretty cheap, you know, at the shows. You just grab a few and
if they're like played with to death and they get no accessories, those figures are not cheap anymore.
Oh yeah.
No, raw era stuff.
You just want to hang it from the ceiling anyway.
Hang what from the ceiling?
That carrier is a flying machine.
I'm not hanging anything from the ceiling. I hate that. I know a lot of people
do that. You don't have any imagination.
I know a lot of people do that, but I don't like that. I don't want to hang anything from the ceiling.
The old stuff was the best. It was.
Yeah.
And they look good. They were good quality. They had mixed media, you know, all of that. And they just don't do that anymore.
And it still holds up. You know, I made that argument before, like I could grab any one of these 60s or 70s G.I. Joes off of here. Mm-hmm. And they've been played with. They've never been restored. They still function perfectly. Yeah. You get a Hot Toys figure, it falls apart in your hands while you're doing the review, which I've had happen.
Yeah.
You know, I've had that happen with Hot Toys. Had it happen with
Mondo.
The thing broke.
Mezco.
Yeah, Mezco. The stuff falls apart in your hands while you're doing the review. It's like, give me a break. Shelby says they like the 12-inch Joes from the 90s and 2000s. All that retooled muscle body. when they made the raw era figures in a 12-inch scale or 1/6 scale. Yeah, and those are still relatively inexpensive. Most of them, you can still pick them up in the box for cheap.
We see a lot of the 12-inch 90s and 2000 Joes at the shows.
Yeah.
A lot of people have those. They're everywhere. We saw some yesterday when we were out at the flea market. We saw a bunch. So they're out there. And they're good if you want to get into those 12-inch Joes like that and you don't want to spend the money for the 60s one, because the 60s one could get expensive.
If they're in good shape, and especially certain outfits, it can be a fortune.
Yeah, but that's a good alternative. That 90s and 2000, they look the same. You can't really tell. How's the record collection? Man, that record collection is growing, and it's growing fast. And we were just talking about that because we bought out a couple of collections recently. Like one weekend, like we bought out like 3 in one weekend, and then
it just kept coming up, and it was deals you couldn't pass up.
Couldn't pass up.
Like that Peddler's Flea Market deal that I showed when the guy, where we asked how much are you trying to sell these? The vintage rap albums, he had 30 of them. How much are you trying to sell these for? And he's like, oh, it's part of a lot with this record player.
Yeah.
And it's like, well, how much is it? He wanted
$30.
It's like 30 obscure rap albums and a working record player for $30. Sign me up.
Yeah. And then at the same flea market, we saw another guy. He had some rap albums.
He had a whole milk crate full.
Yeah.
Pretty much.
And he didn't hardly want nothing for his. So we've been buying them, and it's growing. And we'll find pieces here and there at the Goodwill and yard sales. Every time we go to a yard sale, we say, hey, do you have any records?
Yeah.
It's a few that we do buy online that it's hard to find. So you kind of almost have to buy it online. And then, of course, when we go to the record shows. But we've been doing really good with the lots that we've been finding. Yeah. And we've been doing good on Facebook Marketplace.
Record show, we typically looking for something that you're just not going to find. Like when I had to find in the De La Soul album.
Yeah.
You can't find that album. And it's not cheap.
No. But then in one of the lots we bought, the whole album was there.
Not De La Soul. Sugar
Hill Gang. Sugar Hill Gang. Because he wanted that Sugar Hill Gang. And you had to buy like 2 records to make one.
Yeah.
And then in one of the lots, the whole thing was there.
And it was like, wow, because it was hard to find 2 record shows to find the Sugar Hill Gang.
Yeah.
And nobody had it. These are if you've seen those videos, those are big shows.
Yeah. They're huge.
And it's like Sugar Hill, I might have a single, and there's certain albums that just nobody has, or the heavy metal album.
Yeah,
that was a tough one to track down.
Yeah,
and, there was one person at the whole show that had one.
Yeah, you're right. Hot toys collectors are like the Apple people. They just want a status symbol. Oh man, I got hot toys. And then you'll watch the videos, and and then when you watch the videos, it look like everybody got the same.
And then when they upgrade the figure, they don't want them anymore.
Yeah,
they want to sell them.
Yeah, because they got the latest and the greatest. I'm no longer a Star Trek fan, but I still have my original vinyl albums of the soundtrack to the first 3 movies. Wow. What you looking for?
Well, I'm looking for that Arlo Guthrie.
What's Arlo Guthrie?
House. Where'd you put it?
I don't know right now.
You don't know where it is?
No.
Oh, no. I wanted to show that.
Okay. It's hard to find old school 12-inch single records in my area. $15 to $20 for some of them. Yeah, like we said, we usually go Facebook Marketplace, thrift stores, yard sales, flea markets. That's where we find them. And at the flea markets, you got to go to the people that's sitting outside. Those are the people that are there to wheel and deal.
The ones that have the booths are they don't want to do nothing because they pay too much.
Well, we did find 2 inside. One booth, I forgot.
Sometimes.
We did buy out that guy's collection at the booth inside.
Oh,
I
that's
totally
right.
forgot about
Yeah,
him.
yeah.
We wanted to buy
He
a
was
few.
a coin dealer though.
Yeah.
And he just had them. And he was like, you know.
And he wanted to sell all.
Yeah.
Because we wanted like a few. And he's like, no, buy all.
Yeah.
But he gave us a really good deal.
Yeah, he was like,
he just wanted
we'll do
to,
this.
Yeah.
I'll do this for it. And it's
yeah.
like, that's actually pretty good.
Because it was a lot.
Yeah, it was like a couple of hundred records in there.
Yeah. And it was a bunch of 45s and a bunch of 33s. So, you know, you had like a ton. And you're like, wow, okay. And it's things like that. They just kept coming up. And we couldn't let it pass. What turntable would you recommend for someone getting back into vinyl? We bought one on Amazon, a regular one from Amazon, and we had to buy desktop speakers to plug in the back, and it works great. You know, you got a good sound, decent turntable. We just bought it on Amazon. They sell it at Walmart too, but you know, we always had better luck at Amazon.
Yeah.
So we went on Amazon, bought one for about $30, and then bought the desktop speakers to go with it, and that's what we've been using.
Yeah, no particular model, nothing fancy is really necessary.
No, because they got some for over $100, and I don't see the point in that.
Yeah. Well, I was looking for the Arlo Guthrie because I gave her one yesterday, and it's the Arlo Guthrie, and that's a really tough one to come by. It's the Alice's Restaurant, and there's a huge cultural significance to that album when you understand the story behind it. It was a tradition for a long time too. Oh, you found it?
Yeah, I know where it was.
I didn't know where it was.
I know, because I got it at a sister.
Arlo Guthrie.
And if you never heard that song, you got to hear it. It's labeled now as a Thanksgiving Day song.
It is a Thanksgiving song.
But man, it's crazy. But it's a true story.
It's almost 20 minutes long.
Yeah.
It's like a multiple true story. He had Shelby says thought about selling my toy collection to a dealer, but I'm afraid you will get ripped off. You will. Because they have so much overhead, plus a lot of them are looking to stick you anyway.
Yeah, you got to sell it to another collector. Even if you do bit by bit, you agree, okay, I'll buy $200 this month, $300 worth that month.
Or if you're working with a dealer like Justice Curry.
Yeah.
Justice Curry will give you 50 cents on the dollar for fair market value. And that's the best deal you're going to find from a dealer. That's the best deal I've ever heard of from a dealer. Usually they'll pay anywhere from 5 to 15%.
Yeah,
it's like a pawn shop. But it was a radio show.
I'll come back to you.
Oh, okay. It was a radio show, live radio show, and they just asked him to do something, and he did Alice's Restaurant off the cuff, and on a live broadcast. And people loved it, and they kept calling and asking about it. So they asked him if he could possibly do it again. He came back and did it again, and they recorded it, and then that's how he got his album. And there's other songs on it, but one whole side is Alice's Restaurant because it's that long. Like you said, it's like 18 to 20 minutes long. And it turns out that it's a true story. What he's singing about in the song is a true story about how he was trying to help out Alice from her restaurant, and ended up getting arrested for felony littering because of how much trash there was. And then when he got drafted, was denied from the draft because he had a felony conviction. And they asked him what was a felony. They thought he was like a murderer. Yeah. He was littering. Like littering. But so it's a true story, and they actually in the late '60s there was a film based on the song, but it was a tradition for many decades. I don't know if anyone's still doing it, but that a DJ on a radio station will play this at least once in its entirety as a Thanksgiving tradition. But I don't know if anybody still does it. Yeah, because the story took place during Thanksgiving. Alice was supposed to have a Thanksgiving Day dinner at the restaurant.
So that's how it became a Thanksgiving
But
tradition.
it's so brilliant the way he does it.
Yeah.
It's a
Yeah.
folk song,
Yeah.
folksy music.
Yeah, when deals come up, sometimes you just can't pass it up because you know you'll never see that again.
Yeah.
It's never going to come up again. So you got to make sacrifices and pull a couple of strings here and there. I used to play vinyl records back in the day on my mom's stereo. That's when
stereo. That's what stereos are for. Floor model turntable.
We had one of those growing up.
Toy Chic said Target clearance is crazy right now. So many good classifieds figures for half.
We haven't been to Target in a while.
No.
But yeah, the Target around us, because we went when they were supposedly had another big clearance, and the Flash Gordon stuff was supposed to be on clearance.
Never could find it.
Well, we found the Flash Gordon stuff, but it wasn't on clearance. It was at regular price. So it was just never stuff on clearance. And the only reason we go to Target is for kitty litter. So we just
said the hell with it. Yeah. I go through a lot of litter.
Yeah. So yeah. But yeah, that's what we've been doing, and just listening to the record. So now we got 2 record players, because we got the one that we got from Amazon, and then the one that we bought in that lot.
Yeah.
So now we got 2.
Got that one upstairs. And so listen to the records up there sometimes too.
Yeah.
And, spin that vinyl and just check it out.
Yeah. Yeah. But you can find records fairly cheap on eBay. So
in lots.
Yeah, in lots and single. Because there's a couple of just single ones that I want that I know it's hard to find.
Also, just like anything else, when you collect toys or comics or whatever, condition counts. If you got a really pristine condition or even a sealed album, it can go for a lot.
Yeah.
Sometimes if they're a little rough, the rougher it is, the lower the price gets. But if you get a decent record player, it should still play. You might get a little more crackle. Yeah. But it should still play without too much of a problem, as we have discovered, because we get some that are scratched up every once in a while.
Yeah, but I play it even though it's scratched up. I don't clean it. I got the cleaning stuff, and I will clean it, but I want to listen to it just the way it is. Yeah. With the crackle, with the little skips and everything. And I want to catalog it, but now it's so much. It's like, God, it's going to take me forever.
Gilgamesh says, "You want to talk about obscure rap? I found one of my Digital Underground albums the other day. I've forgotten all about it."
You know, it's Digital Underground, and I heard, you remember Diggable Planet? That group. I heard a song from them. I can't remember the name. A Cool Like That. And I was like, oh my God, I forgot all about that group. Yeah, and Digital Underground, I just heard this week too. They were playing them on the radio. But Diggable Planet, I heard a couple of weeks ago, and I totally forgot about that group. Yeah.
And Shelby says using a tube preamp.
What's a tube preamp?
And he said, "You were surprised Big Chief Studios went bankrupt? No,
really?
For me, really. Thankfully, only a lot lost the minimum pre-order fee." Wow.
That's the company that you were buying stuff from, and they had to give you your money back because they didn't send it to you on time?
Yes, that's the one, the Tom Baker that I never got. That they kept. No, that doesn't surprise me at all, because they could never keep up. But yeah, the Federal Trade Commission made them give me back my refund because it was closing in on 3 years waiting for the Tom Baker.
Oh,
I never got it. So
El Koenig from Space 1999. We're watching that right now.
Space 1999. It's a cool show. It's well written.
Yeah,
written show.
Yeah. It is pretty good. I at first I was like, oh God, I ain't gonna like this, but it's actually not bad. I actually kind of like it.
Yeah.
Yeah.
But that's
wow, they went
ridiculous. Yeah.
So now they gotta pay well, usually when you go bankrupt, you don't get your money back, do you?
No, that's why he said he lost his pre-order fee.
At least they didn't take all your money up front.
Yeah, that would really blow. But no, it doesn't surprise me at all, unfortunately. But they were notorious for that. They'll probably blame the virus scare, the pandemic, but they were that slow before that.
Oh yeah.
So yeah, they've had a problem with that for a long time.
Because didn't you get that other Doctor Who figure from them? The Pertwee?
Yeah, the John Pertwee is Big Chief, and that was delayed like 3 times, 4 times before they finally sent it. And you know, it's a good sculpt, but
yeah, it looks good.
Yeah, it looks good, but give me a break. And the Tom Baker, I was, you know, when that happened, I was just like, yeah, just give me my damn refund when that came up, because you would have to reorder it if you still wanted it after that, after the FTC came down on them. Shelby says it's for hardcore record listeners. Some even upgrade the stylus trying to reach the best sound quality. Oh, okay.
No, we just buy that regular.
We just have a regular turntable.
Yeah.
Although if I had a set of DJ turntables, then I would do I would do like 1 hour like mixing drops of vintage rap and disco and stuff like that and hip hop.
You know what I'm trying to find, and I'm gonna actively look for it, like on OfferUp and Macari Local, maybe even Craigslist. An old style stereo system in the cabinet. Oh, you know, God. But I want mine to have a CD player too. I do want a CD player,
like the kind that you would win on a game show.
Yeah, with the record player, the little equalizer, the tuner, the double tape deck, and a CD player. That's what I'm looking for to get one. Who's your favorite Doctor Who? Oh, Tom Baker.
Tom Baker and John Pertwee are my 2 favorites.
Oh yeah, David loved. I love disco. We don't have a lot of disco records.
Yeah, I have a handful.
Yeah, a handful, a little bit.
It's fun. It's fun
and positive. And
almost none of it is negative. It's rare that you find a negative disco song.
Yeah.
It's very positive, very upbeat, and it got a very bad rap. And basically, they wanted to move on from disco, so they gave
Steve Dahl helped with that too when he did that thing at the Chicago Cubs baseball game.
Yeah, they burned the albums.
Yeah. And he said that he didn't think anybody would bring the records, but he announced it. Bring all your disco records, and because people did, then they really, amped it up.
Because people are stupid, they'll jump in on stuff like that.
They'll jump in on anything.
Yeah, and that's a mess. And it's unfortunate because it's not bad, and you're still hearing it today. You just don't realize it because they sample all those old disco beats for most modern songs.
Yeah,
and most people aren't even aware of where it comes from. Oh, I hate disco. Have you heard any? You're listening to it now, and you don't even know it. But
half the time they don't even know that the songs they're listening to is sampled.
Oh, he's talking about Soul Train now.
For dancing, those Soul Train videos. I used to watch Soul Train all the time. Every weekend we would watch Soul Train. Want to be
Don't
Soul
let them fool
Train
you.
dancers.
They were professionals.
Yeah, they were professional.
It wasn't. They weren't getting people off the street. It's
kind
of like
some people were.
It's kind of like Top of the Pops, and then you find out that everybody in the audience was an actor.
Yeah.
And
they didn't sing or play their music. They lip sync.
Yeah, the singers on Top of the Pops were not permitted to actually sing or play their instruments.
Yeah,
because they didn't want a mistake.
Yeah,
it's rare that they would do it. Like there was one time that there was an a cappella.
Mm-hmm.
The guy had to, or the guy who did 19 because it was synth. You remember the song 19 from about the Vietnam War?
Yeah,
it's like really the first techno song where it goes 19. The average age. They couldn't really mess with it. He had to go on stage and do a completely different prefab one with his keyboard.
They did that on Soul Train until Al Green wasn't having all that. Al Green brought his whole band. He brought the guitars, the drums, all of the musical instruments, because his whole act was to play with a live band.
Yeah.
So he didn't lip sync to anything. You got oh, I love Paul Hardcastle. That's the only like jazz I really like, and I had a bunch of his albums. Well, CDs, album
Yeah.
CDs. I like Paul Hardcastle.
You know what was an interesting one is Herbie Hancock.
I used to
Because
like
I
him
got some
too.
Herbie Hancock in there, but I've got some of his really early stuff.
Mm-hmm.
And if you listen to it, it's like listening. It's like the background music of a '70s cop show. You listen to the album.
I don't remember him talking about shampooing his hair.
Brave Star is not a bad show.
It's actually pretty good.
It's
you got
pretty
to
good.
you got to suffer through that because that
Yeah.
only happened once. So,
But the early Herbie Hancock, it's like you can actually close your eyes and
Mhm.
you'll have images of like Starsky and Hutch chasing a guy through an alley, tripping over garbage cans,
oh,
because his music sounds like TV, like action background music.
I think he
The
did a
early
lot
stuff.
of that though.
Did he?
I think so.
That's what it sounds like. I think it's. I got one right there. I think it's. If I can show the album, because I listened to this one the other day, and I was like, "That's Herbie Hancock." Yeah, I guess so. Let me see here. This one. That one right there. You want background T.J. Hooker music? This is it.
I had the SWAT album, them from the TV show.
Oh,
SWAT
yeah.
had an album. You know what's the best TV intro is Knight Rider. We're watching Knight Rider now. I love that intro. I think that's like the best intro ever.
Herbie Hancock.
Yeah.
Rust.
Mm-hmm.
Well, yeah, the music on this, I was just like, wait a minute. Oh my god. Yeah, SWAT had a really funk intro song or intro music. There's no singing, but
and we got the Miami Vice soundtrack.
Miami Vice had some of the best music of the 80s.
Well, it had like real music in it,
Yeah,
unlike some shows that they do like a karaoke style.
Oh yeah, like Knight Rider. Knight Rider, they use real music, but it's their own band singing it, and it's just like, wait a minute. Toy Chic wants to know if we start watching movies for the month of Halloween.
We're going to watch. Excuse me. We're going to watch the Headless Sleepy Hollow, because there's a bunch of different versions of Sleepy Hollow, so we're going to watch each one. And then we normally watch like some
Halloween
different
specials.
Halloween specials, like the cartoons, like the Garfield, the Great Pumpkin, Charlie Brown, and then some other ones that we can find that's not so popular.
Yeah, we're not into. We've kind of fallen out of like watching the traditional like slasher films and things like that.
Yeah, you get tired. Like, it seems like a lot of movies nowadays, if it's not a superhero movie, is a horror film or thriller, whatever they want to call it. And that get kind of old and tiring. The original Halloween and Jason and all of that is just kind of tiring to me now. So, like I said, Sleepy Hollow was good. It's like 4 versions.
The one with Jeff Goldblum is hilarious.
That one was good.
It was a made for TV, but it is hilarious.
Yeah.
He's such a goof in that.
And it's another one that came out a little bit after that we saw. And the guy is just like a total nutball.
Yeah.
Yeah. And we're going to watch the one with Johnny Depp. It's about 3 or 4 versions. Yeah. So we're going to watch that. We're going to watch some cartoons. And
we'll watch Disney animated one's good too, from like the 50s or whatever. That one's pretty good. That's good. Yeah.
Mm-hmm. But yeah, we're going to watch stuff like that. No horror. It's kind of tired and done.
Or really, they're just slasher films.
Yeah. Usually we watch Newcastle After Dark. And they usually put out one
Hammer House kind of stuff.
Yeah, they usually put out one movie a month. And in the month of Halloween, they put out one a week. And we might watch them, and they usually show all horror stuff.
Yes, Toy Chic. And the Berenstein Bears specials are really good, and they feel like
Dr.
Dr.
Seuss.
Seuss.
I think I have the Bernstein
everybody-
Bears up on my channel from
Everybody
last year.
speaks in rhyme,
Mhm.
and they're pretty good.
Yeah.
They're actually pretty good.
Because it's more than one Bernstein Bears. I think I have one of the cartoons up on my channel right now. I know I got the Christmas one. I think I do have the Halloween one, but it's also another one with the kids going trick or treating from house to house. The one that I have now is like the Great Pumpkin, and they got to go find a pumpkin patch and all kind of stuff, whatever. So yeah, but that's what we're going to be doing. No horror, except for if it's Newcastle, we'll watch whatever they put out, but
yeah,
not the traditional.
I don't want to see teenagers get chopped up anymore.
That's kind of it just get kind of tiring.
Well, it's led into a whole issue with the concept of what makes for a good horror film, also because there's no conclusion to it. There's no consequences. They always get away with it. How many times is Freddy or Jason or somebody going to come back? That means if he keeps coming back, there's no conclusion. He never pays for his crimes. He just gets away with slaughtering innocent people. And I got tired of seeing that.
Well, they made them originally
to end. Yes.
But people kept calling for them to come back. Just like with Halloween. Michael Myers and Dr. Loomis died in the second one. And then the third one was supposed to be a new Halloween every year.
Yeah.
That's why Halloween 3 is so different. But no, we want Michael Myers. We want Michael Myers. So they had to resurrect Michael Myers and Dr. Loomis. And you're sitting there like, but they blew up.
Really, they just wanted to make more money. But yeah, they died. It was written for them to die. 1 and 2 were written together, but they could not do the whole film as one film. So they found a breaking point. Is what happened.
Yeah, the Hammer films are pretty good. It was, especially the ones with Cushing and
Peter
Lee.
Cushing,
and they are not as gory. The Hammer, for some of them can be.
Yeah, they can.
They can be,
but you can tell it's like
it's a difference.
It's almost funny sometimes.
Yeah.
But another important point, since he mentioned that, is another thing that is completely lost in the genre. There's no more legacy horror actors. There's name one. There's no more legacy horror actors. You knew if you saw Vincent Price. Now, Vincent Price did a lot of comedies too.
Yeah.
But he also did a lot of that kind of stuff. Or Peter Cushing, or Christopher Lee, or there's a handful of people that were in that genre that were legacy actors for that genre, and we had also legacy actors for other genres. Like if Schwarzenegger was going to come out with a new film, it's like, oh, he is another action film coming out. I want to see that.
Yeah.
Or Stallone. We don't have legacy actors anymore. We got characters. People want to go see a character. If that actor appears in something else, nobody cares.
Yeah.
Because the era is almost dead. I think one of the last of the legacy actors is probably Tom Cruise of all people.
Yeah.
Because if he puts a film out, he's not going to pander. That's why when he did a sequel to Top Gun, everybody was like, "Oh, okay, he's probably not going to screw it up."
Yeah.
And he didn't. He did it the way. I mean, he's a jerk apparently in real life, but he'll put out a good film because he doesn't want to mess it up.
Yeah.
We don't have legacy actors in any genre anymore.
Well, now Denzel Washington is redoing the Equalizer.
The Equalizer, yeah. He's doing that.
I mean, he's kind of legacy.
But I mean,
he's older now. He was never like a fighter.
Everybody,
you know what I mean?
Everybody who is a legacy actor is old, though. We're not. There's no new ones.
But I'm saying he was never a fighter type person. You know what I mean? Like Tom Cruise was. He was never a fighter.
Okay.
Like when Tom Cruise did like Reacher or John Wick or something like that.
Yeah.
The Equalizer feel like it should be kind of like that. And he, but I like the first two. So the next one might be good. I'll watch it if it come out on Prime. Well, okay, he just saying he
Home
liked that.
Improvement, Sabrina the
I never
Teenage
seen
Witch.
those.
I want to see the Sabrina the Teenage Witch from the Filmation Archie's cartoon from the 70s. Stone Sours wants to know if we keep the vinyl in the museum.
Yes.
Absolutely. We got a ton of it down here.
Yeah, they're kind of in the way.
And Reston wants to know, he says, I wonder if kids today know Liam Neeson was Darkman back in the day. Darkman was funny. He was only in the first one. There were 4 because they kept trying to bring it back. Only the first one is good. The other 3 are crap. It's kind of like The Crow. The first one with Brandon Lee is 90s gold. The other 2, I think there's 2 more. They're terrible.
Oh, yeah?
Yeah, because they kept trying to bring it back. And it's like, don't keep trying to bring it back. Some films are standalone films and they're fine just like that.
Well, Brandon Lee died.
Yeah, I know, but it didn't need to be another one after that.
Yeah,
the
they should have let it die with him.
Was only a 4-issue comic series, and they didn't make more. I don't think so, unless they did something I didn't see. But yeah, Darkman is a fun movie. My favorite is the carnival scene with the pink elephant. I'd like the pink elephant, please. And then you're watching his eyes, and he crushed that guy's hand. The guy's pointing, and he grabs it in practical effects. They had a dummy hand. He just crushes the fingers, and it's like, oh my god. But yeah, that was a fun movie. He was in Cull. He was, because people were saying, people talk about Liam Neeson that you don't see him die in movies. He's died in a bunch of movies. He died in Cull. He was killed in that. He was killed in the first Batman film, not with Michael Keaton. The other one with Christian Bale. He was killed in that. He was killed in a few movies, but yeah, he goes I think Cull's the earliest thing I remember seeing him in. He didn't even have a good part.
Oh yeah.
Cull's a goofy movie too, but it's fun. You know how it is. You remember Cull?
It's
the one with the glaive. The guy had it's like the frisbee with the blades in it, and he throws it at everybody. You don't remember that?
No, I never saw Cull.
You did see it.
The only thing I remember about a frisbee is a Chinese movie where that guy was throwing it on people's head and it was chopped in.
I can't remember the name of that one, but that one is classic.
He had the
It was blind. He was blind, and if you made a sound, he had a hat. Yeah, and a cage would fall out of it. And it had a long chain, and he'd throw it, and it'd come down over the person's head, and the blades would spin, and then he'd snap it, and their head would pop off. Like, holy crap! The old blind monk. We love our.
That's it.
There you go. Thank you.
Somebody knew it.
We love our classic badly dubbed kung fu movies with music stolen from Star Wars and all over the place. A lot of them have the Star Wars theme music for some reason. Shelby says was in a movie with Linda Hamilton. It was hard not to call her Sarah.
Yeah.
Oh, you were in a movie?
But they were saying that they were in another movie up top.
I didn't see it.
Further up.
Okay. That's interesting.
Yeah.
But yeah, we love our old crazy kung fu movies. Some of them are nuts. Oh, what's the other one? The Kung Fu Yoga.
Man,
that was nuts.
Whoa.
And the Indian guy, the Punjab guy that was the contortionist. And
that's the only yoga that was in the whole thing. You had to watch like 2 hours to get to the yoga part.
And they couldn't beat him. Because he drew all like his arms snap around this way and his leg. And he was for real a contortionist.
Yeah.
I am indestructible. You cannot harm me.
and that fight scene I know lasted about 45 minutes. And this guy was just everywhere. You're like, oh my god! Because the rest of the movie is like, okay, whatever. Because they kept cheating. The two people they couldn't do kung fu well. They weren't good, so they kept cheating to beat everybody.
Yeah.
And then the only way they were able to beat the yoga guy, they had to cheat.
Yeah.
And they ended up beating him. But man, that movie was crazy. And you're like, especially when it got to the yoga guy.
And
but that was the best part.
The other one with the eggs.
Oh, it took me the whole movie to figure out what was going on.
Yeah, because he had this technique. His only vulnerable spot was his testicles. Okay, and they would strike him there, and nothing would happen because he had this technique where he could retract them. And the way they would demonstrate this was they would show a strike, and then they would show eggs flying away, like on a string or something. And she's like, "What the hell's going on?" And then they had this one where this guy did this double thing where he struck and then he turned and then he went like this, and they show the eggs fall in his hand and he grabbed and crushed them. And then they showed him holding the guy between his legs, and he's like, "Argh!" And she was like, "That's what they're doing."
Because the guy, the whole point of the movie is about the weak spots, but they couldn't find the guy weak spots, so they were going all over the body because they showed the whole body and all of the weak spots, but they never showed between the. So every time they tried to strike, it would pop up.
Or when they would do animal stuff, and then the one guy had the cat technique, and you hear it like alley cats having a scrap fight in the back, whenever he jump in the air. Or the frog guy, he would jump and then you that stuff cracks me up. Occam says you guys are streaming late. How come people besides me hardly ever post hauls the open by chance page? Do people even collect anymore or vicariously through others? I don't know.
People, well, yeah, I don't know. Stuff is starting to get expensive. People are starting to get kind of worn out.
Yeah.
You see a lot of comic hauls, but toy hauls, I haven't seen a real toy haul in a while. Well, Toy Chic always shows.
Toy Chic had a couple.
Yeah, stuff that he got from like the mail a while, but I'm talking about buying stuff.
Yeah.
He had got that one big lot that he had got, but
Reston says weak spot goes back to Seven Deadly Venoms. Seven Deadly Venoms is a good one.
Yeah, we saw that.
Or was it Five Fingers of Death?
Five Fingers of Death was a good one too. Yeah. I don't know if the Seven Deadly Venom was the one with the maids though.
No, that wasn't it.
Oh, that wasn't it. But, I don't know. I can't remember. We just watched anything on Tubi. Tubi has a lot of martial arts film, and we watched probably every one of them.
And I got a bunch too.
Yeah, and I got a lot too. But I've tried. We watch it on TV because you don't have to switch out the DVDs. So.
Gilgamesh says, "You want a haul pick up post what I got at Target this week sometime." Yeah, you can put it on the Facebook if you like.
Yeah, let people see what you got.
Let people see what you got. But yeah, some people do, and I get that with the tours. Not so much the haul videos, but when we go to shows, there are people who message us sometimes. They're like, where they are, they can never get to a show, or they've never been to the show that we went to. And they said, now that I've seen it, and I think I'm going to try to go there because now I get an idea of what it looks like. So yeah, sometimes people do that. Toy Chica says, "You guys are busting tonight. Crack me up." Yeah, there's no more big hauls for me anymore. Economy got me hurting.
Yeah, man.
You got to find those like dealer hauls, and I never understand that too. I hate it when people end up selling out to a dealer.
Yeah,
it hurts my feelings. Because I know they're getting ripped off, and they know they're getting ripped off.
Yeah,
and it's like you're much better off finding a collector and selling to them, even at a steep discount. You'll still make more money, and at least you know they're going to keep it.
Yeah,
and that's the thing too. Is like, and that's actually this all has helped me in that regard as well. Like when I got these from the Joe Lanta, this right here, because I needed the crocodile and I needed the gorilla, and the guy is like, oh well, you know what though, it's going to a toy museum. I'll do this price for it, and because they know I'm not going to turn around and flip it. This isn't going anywhere. You know, if we bought it, odds are we're going to keep it. I don't sell very often, and most of if I do sell anything, it's going to be duplicates or something like that.
I don't even sell a duplicate.
Yeah, I mean, that's what we do with the retro swap, and it's like a lot of comics, extras, and stuff, and children's books and things like that, or vinyl records, and sell it real cheap just to move them along.
Yeah.
But yeah, that helps a lot. It takes some of that weight off. It's like, okay, I didn't get what I expected, but at least this person appreciates it, as opposed to some dealer and all they see is ching and dollar signs.
How much they can mark it up for.
Yeah, that I think that hurts more than anything else. It's like they don't even care. They collect money. They don't care about
I
you.
like collecting money.
They don't care about your product. You know what I mean?
I know what you mean.
But they don't even care. And you see some of those on like some of these videos too, where we watch and they're like, "Oh, this is my collection." And they're just like throwing the stuff. They're flipping through, especially if it's comic books. Remember that one guy in the stack?
I have to turn.
The stack,
I don't even watch.
The stack actually flopped over and fell, and he's still throwing books down. It's like, dude, you're wrecking them, but he don't care.
No.
Oh, there's Nostalgic for the 70s. That's Alex.
I never plan to sell,
but
sometimes have to sell to buy something more expensive.
But there are things that I will
not sell all.
I understand.
Yeah, I don't know. I would have a hard time selling anything. I mean, we had some record jackets with no records. It took me months to get rid of the jackets. I just felt so bad. And it's like,
we got empty jackets. We got empty jackets sitting over there.
Yeah, it is hard just to get rid of the jacket and feel like it's like throwing away a book. I can't even throw a book away, you know?
No, I totally get it. We don't want to end up like an episode of Hoarders.
Oh,
but fortunately for us, we're well organized.
Yeah.
You know, we have the space.
Yeah.
But, you know, we're not just stacking.
And if we don't have the space, we box it up.
Yeah, you box it. Box it up.
Yeah, box it up and make space. That's what you do.
But yeah, I think that takes a lot of the sting out of it. I'd rather sell at a steep discount to somebody I know is going to treasure it than somebody that's just like, yeah, let me. How much can I flip this for?
Yeah.
There was one dealer. I'm not going to say who it was because I'm not looking for a feud. Well-known dealer. If I said the name, some of you would recognize it.
Mm-hmm.
That on their Facebook was bragging that they bought out at one of the toy shows we attended another dealer's table who was desperate for money for $2,000, and they know that what they bought was at least $28,000.
Oh my god!
And they were like, "Yeah, we got them, and we'll be bringing it to our shop and blah blah." And I'm like, "You don't tell people that. Don't. That's not something to brag about. That you broke some poor dealer's heart because he was desperate for cash, or whoever was selling." And we've actually seen that at a couple of shows before, where the guy, you remember the one guy we were asking him,
he was about in tears.
He was like, "You're gonna have to ask them now because I had to sell my booth out," and he was starting to well up, and it's like because and I'm like, wow, this guy got hosed.
Yeah, he knew he got.
He
hosed.
Just needed. He couldn't take it home again.
Yeah, he needed the money for whatever reason.
Gilgamesh says, "I don't think I'll ever bring myself to sell anything, but I'm looking at putting some things away just to change up my displays."
That's what we do.
Yeah,
that's what I do. I pack
it
up in the box and change out the display, and then you get in it, and it'll change the whole room.
Yeah,
the whole look of the room will change.
Alters the feel.
Yeah, you leave it up for a few months, a year or so, and then you change it around again.
Yeah, and it's like and there's some stuff like you don't see this wall change much. Where are we? Right somewhere there.
Yeah.
Because I got everything settled in there so nice, I don't want to touch it. Or if I had something to add to it, though, like there's a couple of Welcome Back Kotter pieces I don't have yet, and it'd be a nightmare to try to squeeze them in there. But it is what it is.
Yeah, David.
Yeah, Nostalgic says that sounds like the same people who lie like they bought something super rare for super cheap just for the fame. Yeah. There's a lot of channels like that too, and I see them talking about every yard sale they go to, they find something worth thousands of dollars, and I'm like,
oh God, no. No, I have never in my life thrown. I mean, I got Bibles in the page torn out, and I just put it back in there. I ain't throwing.
She's got a collection of Bibles.
I do. I rescue Bibles. I'm not. I don't give it. I will give Bibles away. It was a time where I would buy Bibles as gifts. And I would buy a person a Bible. I mean, I get the whole thing. I get the marker, the thing you put it in, you know, the cover that zips up, and a notebook, and write all on the inside, and give it away. I would do that. To charity, no, because I don't trust charities like that. But I will buy the Bible for an individual and give it to them and personalize it and write this whole big old long drawn out thing. But to throw one away, no, I have Bibles. Like I said, and the pages are turned. And I remember one of my Bibles, because when I get it, I mark it up. I'm not afraid to write it mine. But I had one, and the pages is all coming out, and the pastor said, "Turn to this page," and that section had already fell out. So I'm holding it and trying to find it and setting the page. And people are looking, and I'm like, "Oh my God, I got to get a new Bible." So I bought it. I still got it though, but you know, I just don't take it in public no more. Bragging about ripping someone off. What? Go ahead.
Oh no, I was going to say in the Hebrew tradition, when your Bible is worn out, they bury them.
Oh yeah, I didn't know that, but I just put it away.
Like
I just retire
like
it.
you're putting a soul to rest.
Okay, no, it's just
Gilgamesh
retired.
says, bragging about ripping someone off will guarantee I'll never do business with you. Yeah, no kidding, because that's a certain type of arrogance I don't want to deal with. And Reston said certain collectibles should only be by collectors, for collectors, sold or traded, and you know they'll appreciate it. And Johnny says, y'all still live? Wow. Yeah, no kidding.
But back to what Reston is saying, that's what people tell you. That's NECA's banner or motto. That's what people say. You go to certain toy stores.
Mezco, Hasbro.
Yeah. Even local shops.
They all have that.
Yeah. But then look at how they treat you.
Yeah, look how they treat you when you get to sell something, or look how they treat you when you're trying to get a deal.
Yeah,
you know. Todd says, "Were you a fan of SSP cars and smash up Dirt B? If you ever had or played with Pressman horror makeup kits from the '70s?" No, I never had that stuff. I didn't have much of anything growing up if I didn't get it myself.
Yeah,
but those cars, those racetracks and stuff are great toys, and they're a forgotten toy.
Yeah.
They're
is that the slot cars?
Yeah, because they don't really make that kind of stuff anymore. They really don't. It's kind of going the way of model trains.
I remember those on the commercials.
Criss-cross crash.
And then they used to do. They had the one with the loops. You could get the one loop, the two, and do all of that. And I remember my cousins had one, and it was just the one loop, and it would just go around and do the one loop, and then they had a garage. You can put it in the garage to do repairs and all kinds of stuff. Yeah.
Says he has a collection of Bibles, but they're all King James 1611 versions.
Oh wow!
None of those modern versions that have missing scripture. Well, you got to get the New Jewish Bible.
The New Jerusalem. What is it? God, now you got me getting it mixed up.
New Jewish Bible.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, that's the right one.
Mm-hmm.
Get direct translations. Yeah, there's not too many.
No, because they change up stuff, and you don't know what's what. Where profits come. Yeah,
and that's all these companies.
Yeah, that's what I was about to say.
I don't care what they tell you. Johnny says he misses the long live streams when he's not working.
Yeah. Well, you got to be off at nights. You work nights now, Johnny.
Well, he's got to do what he's got to do.
Yeah, you got to do what you got to do to keep yourself afloat nowadays. Because boy, that inflation got you.
It's the autographs got Johnny.
Johnny loves his autographs. He got to show his autograph collection because that man has so much stuff autographed. Yeah. I want to see the stuff.
You can put it on on the Facebook if he wants to.
Oh, that my dad gave me a long time ago. Oh, the Dukes of Hazzard.
The roof flag. Yeah. Oh, the Barn Buster one, or a different set.
Yeah, I've seen the Barn Buster a couple of times at shows. Yeah, that'd be nice. So do a video on that.
Those are cool toys. And again, you don't really see that anymore.
Mm-hmm.
It's kind of going the way of the dodo.
Every so often, we'll see slot cars at a show. Every so often.
Underappreciated.
Yeah.
But, they're tough to find in good shape or intact also. also.
Yeah.
So that's an issue. But yeah, that'd be cool.
From Tycho.
The problem with me though is I'd want to have it set up somewhere, and then I don't have the space quite.
Well, you gotta own it. Have it in your possession. Get it in your clutches. Yeah. I'm serious, because at least you got it. You know what I'm saying? You can. Hey, Big B, how are you?
Flies here. What's up, comic people? Not much. Just having a conversation with some of the people who frequent the channel.
Yeah, talking about everything.
Talking to our open by chance friends, if you will.
Yeah, and for those of you who don't know, Big B McFly is a comic book collector. He got a YouTube, Instagram. He does custom comic art. You know, so you can commission him to do your drawings and stuff like that. YouTube channel. He does a lot in the community, trying to connect people, get people out there, and to get to know each other. So he's a good resource.
He says he was at the Rose City Comic Con.
Where is Rose City? I've heard that. I've been seeing things about it, but I don't really know where that is. Where is that? I need to make a video of the autographs.
Yeah, celebrities getting signings. And the prices on that are insane now too.
I want to hear some of the stories about that.
When I used to do the Great Eastern conventions in the early '90s, autographs were free. Celebrity autographs were free, or if you went to a sci-fi show, it might cost you $10.
Yeah,
you know, or it might be included with the price of admission. You get 1 or 2 signings, something like that. Not like it is now, where you're hearing about people paying thousands for a signature. It's hundreds and even thousands of dollars. It's crazy. Like I think Johnny was telling me before about Sylvester Stallone is doing an autograph series, and doesn't it run all the way up to like 7,000? It starts at like 600 or something, and it runs to 7,000.
That's ridiculous.
Depending upon what you're signing.
That's ridiculous.
I think it was Sylvester Stallone, correct? But that's where we're at now. You know.
I was going to tell Stone Sour, I was collecting the NECA horror figures for a long time when it was still $22.
Yeah.
And so the NECA figures I have, the ones that are in the box, are all the horror ones. And then it kept going up, and I stopped a few years ago. I stopped, I think before. It's in Portland. I stopped before COVID. But I was getting the NECA figures for a long time, just the horror ones though. But yeah, they kept going up, and the next thing you know, it was $24. It was $28. It got to $30. Now it's like what, $45?
Yeah,
it's just like, man,
$42.95 or something like that. Suggested retail price. Toy Chic says not sure. It's just the car. Played with it as a kid a lot. Also had Adam West Batmobile and Glow in the Dark tracks. Okay,
that's cool.
That is cool.
Yeah.
Big Me says thank you for the kind words. No problem.
Yeah,
no problem.
yeah.
If we see somebody and we know for sure they got a channel, we try to call them out.
Yeah, and tell what they do so people can go and check
Nostalgic
it out.
for the 70s got one too that has something to do with Atari, and you can mention it here if you want, and I'll put it for people to look.
Buy collectors for collectors, biggest lie in collecting.
Yeah, because they don't care about you.
No, they don't.
Or if they start out caring about you, they start making money and then they forget about you.
Yeah, because that's what money do. It help you forget. Yeah, Stallone, and it's expensive.
He got the cheapest, which is an 8x10 photograph. Oh, and Puppies and Funko is here.
Hey, Puppies and Funko.
Thanks for joining us. And Occam says, "Did you hear Hasbro's officially stopping at 3 3/4-inch retro O-ring again?
Again.
Gen X has officially passed their prime to market. I'm out of date, but they'll still spend a fortune on the raw figures. So the originals, the '80s raw figures are they're flying.
Oh yeah,
you get crazy money for that stuff.
Yeah, but it got to be in the package, right? Or for the loose
if it's
ones.
Loose, complete, pristine condition, you can still get really good money for that.
Oh wow!
Oh, and Art Star is here.
Hey,
people popping in late.
Yeah.
Big Me says they have a bunch of early McFarlane Spawn figures in a collection the other day.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, those are still relatively affordable too. But he
Yeah.
produced a lot of that stuff.
Yeah, because it was for a while, a couple of years back. Everywhere we went, it was Spawn. You don't see as much Spawn now. But some years back, everywhere we went, it was like Spawn, Spawn, Spawn.
It was like
everywhere.
starting lineup figures.
Yeah.
But and that's, I think I showed Spawn on my affordable 90s figure video.
Yeah.
And he said the collection came with X-Men #4. Oh, that's decent.
Oh, wow.
I used to have a big run of those.
Of the X-Men?
Yeah. The original X-Men comics all the way back to #1. Part of that collection I lost. Johnny said he almost got Clint Eastwood, but it sold out within minutes.
Clint Eastwood what? Autograph?
Yeah, because there was a limit to how many he would sign. So,
that'd be a nice one.
That was expensive too, I heard.
Some good stuff.
Yeah. Well, it depends. I mean, there's two main things I think most people would want him to sign. Either something from like Blondie as Fistful of Dollars for a few dollars more from that series, or Good, the Bad, and the Ugly, or Dirty Harry.
What was the movie where he was the preacher in the little mining town? I like that one. I like that scene where he was on the horse, and just the shot that they did. He came up and he was framed by the two buildings, and it was a profile of him on the horse, and it was kind of like shadowy.
Pale Rider.
Oh yeah,
I think it was Pale Rider.
That was a nice shot.
Yeah.
That was a really good
one.
shot.
They were thrown because he was crazy.
Because he wasn't a preacher.
Crazy confirmed it, Pale Rider. Well, he was now, but he had his backup just in case.
That was a good movie.
Yeah, he had his backup. That's a good one. I mean, most of his spaghetti westerns are I don't think he was in a bad western really. Because he's got Pale Rider, he's got Outlaw Josie Wales. It's a really good film.
Thunderbolt and Lightning.
Oh, well, that's not a western.
No, but it's a good movie.
Film. Bigby says First Scarlet Witch and Quicksilver. Yeah, second Magneto. Yeah.
Oh yeah.
That's a classic.
Yeah.
And Johnny said, yeah, he wanted Fistful of Dollars. That's the only photo I wanted that sold out just like that. I can imagine. I can imagine. Because it's been a long time since he did autographs, but I bet you when he did some signings back in the 70s, early 80s, I bet you it was like $10, $20. You know, now look. Now look what happened. See what you guys did?
You're going to pay for that.
Everybody wants everything signed now. There's an obsession with it now.
I don't like signatures because they write it all on stuff and, it's just... Like they will write on this and it'll be right here, all big going across. And then you're messing up the whole cover. Now, if they did it on the back, like right here, it would be okay.
Traditionally, in a comic book, prior to like about the mid-90s, they would sign the bottom panel of the first page where it's blank. Like when you sign a book.
Yeah. But, you sign it on the inside
of the jacket. But they started signing the covers in somewhere in the early to mid 90s.
You know why?
That's the thing.
Because CGC, if you send it in, they're gonna say somebody wrote in the book.
CGC wasn't around yet.
Yeah, well,
CGC wasn't around yet. They will acknowledge an autograph that's something inside of it.
Yeah, they're gonna say.
Well, not CGC won't acknowledge any autograph they didn't witness.
Yeah, that's what I'm saying.
But
they're gonna say somebody marked up all in this book.
Okay.
What? You're
not understanding.
I know what you're saying. Kelly's Heroes was that one where they were looking for gold, right?
That was an all-star. Yeah,
that was a good one.
That was a good one. Edwin said he accidentally posted his Playmate Enterprise to a Thundergrats group. I got a little grief from them, but I apologize. The administrator said it still looked cool. Your channel grows because of variety. No, you must stick to the rules. Facebook, they get frustrating with a lot of that.
See, Gilgamesh understands.
Yeah.
It ruins the artwork, especially if you got a nice picture or something like that, and then they just mark all on it. I also don't like autos, especially on Funko. Not in the front. use the freaking top of the flap. Yeah.
And the Funko, because I had a big argument about that back in the day, a couple of years back, really, because the diehard Funko collectors who sit there and say Funko forever, and if you say anything negative about Funko, I'm going to spit in your eye. They get the signatures. They run around and get any autograph they can get to help it to retain its value. So you're admitting that Funko is going to lose value then.
Everything loses value.
Yeah, and then you put you pay to get this autograph, but the majority of the autographs are junk. They're not worth more than what you paid for the signature. It's all this weird stuff, like when Plastic Empire had the kid from Gremlins. Yeah, that's it. That's right. Well, he's not a kid anymore. He's like my age.
Yeah.
But he had the guy from Gremlins, and he's signing Gizmo Pops. You weren't Gizmo. You played a different character. Gizmo was a damn puppet. Okay.
But he sure signed those Gizmo.
He'll sign that Gizmo puppet. I bet you could buy it for less than it costs to get that autograph. That $50 that you pay for that signature. I bet you can go on eBay and find it for less than that signed. I wouldn't be surprised.
Todd was born in 1968. My favorite top 3 toys: Evel Knievel, Stunt Cycle, $6 Million Man Doll.
Hugo, Man of 1,000 Faces. That thing, he looks like Mini Me.
You have that?
No, I don't have. I don't have Hugo. I have some.
You got the $6 Million Man.
I have a couple of $6 Million Man pieces.
And the Evel Knievel.
Not much.
You got that Evel Knievel though.
I have something from Ideal Evel Knievel. I don't have the whole set anymore. I used to.
You want to know your top 3?
See, there's the
Todd.
There's the Maskatron right there in the box. A couple of dings on it, but it still looks pretty good. I used to have this whole set, and I used to have the whole set of the Evel Knievel too. But that was back when you could buy one like mint on the card for $9.
No.
I know. But yeah, those are some great old toys. Let me see if I can get this one down. Like that. The Evel Knievel Arctic Explorer. My favorites from those time periods. So I like the Remco McDonald Land.
Yeah, that is nice. I like that set.
That's a great set. That's fantastic. I like the Shogun Warriors, the Mattel Shogun Warriors stuff is another favorite of mine. And yeah, I've got a real soft spot for the old $6 Million Man stuff as well. That's a great toy line. And I used to love the show when I was a kid.
Gilgler said if he gets something signed, he got to have 2 of them so he can have one signed and one not signed.
Oh, yeah?
And Johnny said, I prefer getting signed in person. Then I can direct the placement of the signature. But if I know I will never meet them, then I will be forced to buy from a reputable company and verify by a third party. It's a guy on YouTube. He get his comic book signed. And hold on, let me move this out of me.
See, like those are my Remco McDonald Land. They're 1/12 scale.
Yeah, those are cool.
Yeah, these are fantastic.
And they're nice.
The cardstock is super thick. This is really good quality packaging. 1976 Remco, but these are great. They all have the same exact art on the front, but
the back.
I have the entire set
To include that.
Yeah,
Playland.
I have the Playland, and mine is sealed. And man, it took years to find one that was still sealed.
Wow, that figure in the box is massive. The art on the $6 Million Man stuff is fantastic, though.
Yeah, it is. It's great art.
I'm getting Sarah Karloff's signature real soon. The daughter of the daughter of. So she was in something. Great pieces.
She's like a late 80s, early 90s B film actress, actually.
Okay.
Yeah.
Nice. I too have Maskatron unopened. Love that one. Displays nicely. Hello, everyone. Hey, Nomski. Didn't know you guys were screaming. I'll have to rewatch this over. That's cool.
And Puppies says,
what's your favorite Pokemon? I don't watch Pokemon.
No, I never got into Pokemon.
I don't know nothing about it.
I never really got into that.
I never got into that. So none.
And I remember when that show was on the air too.
Oh,
but I've got a lot of obscure stuff.
Yeah.
So I mean, it's hard to pick a favorite. It really is like this. I love the Sucker Man too. I've got the.
I don't know why it's so lame. I mean, they don't do nothing. It's just like. Okay, go ahead. Forget us. I'm a big Godzilla fan. How do you guys like Godzilla items?
You got the wrong guy.
Let me turn the camera.
Oh, you want to see? Oh, yeah, that'll be. Let me show you. Yeah. See that he's part of the.
That's the Godzilla.
Yeah, those are the Shogun Warriors Godzillas. I got all three versions there. The well, there's one more, but that's the Popey, and they call that the I forget what the term is for it, but there's a Popey version. But those are the three American versions: the lime green, the darker green, and then the modified one on the right.
Mm-hmm.
And then I've got like the Dormai Godzilla over there. Yeah, I love me some Godzilla.
Yeah,
I love that Eagle One there as well.
Yeah,
the Eagle One playset because I'm a big Space 1999 fan.
Yeah, we're watching that right now.
But yeah, I'm a big fan of the old Godzilla stuff.
Johnny says that his grail is to get a signed autograph of photo of open by.
Oh yeah, it's going to cost you. And Occam says the TJ Hooker have a figure line. Don't know why I'm thinking about that. No, they did not. They had rack toys mostly, like when you bought TJ Hooker wallet, TJ Hooker pistol, things like that.
Keaton said he's looking for those.
Which ones? The
Godzillas. Yeah, he didn't want to ask about the Godzillas.
They're tough to find intact, and there's 3 different versions, and sometimes people get parts mixed up.
No, he has not.
I haven't gotten any more Earthworm Jim.
Oh, you completed yours. Good for you. Cool. Oh, he's only missing the rocket ride. Okay, but still, you almost there.
$700. You're cheap. I'll send you an autograph for $700.
Sure will.
I'll sign a picture.
No, he gotta. Yeah, well, you gotta be on your knee and have a drink in your hand and do like this.
Yeah, that that's what you do. But yeah, I'll take a Shogun Godzilla anytime I can find it.
Yeah, because you just found that one with no hand recently.
Yeah, he's missing his fist, but it's an original. It's the first version, the one that everybody complained about because they said it was too green. But he's like, it was so cheap. It was way less expensive than it should have been. Occam says those Shogun Warriors are ridiculous in price. I would love them though. They can be. They can be, and then people don't realize how many were made. Like you saw the Mazinga there, and all 3 of those Mazingas are different.
Yeah,
they're drastically different, and they are different from the Popey version that they're modeled after because they are copies of the Japanese Popey. Mattel just scaled them back because the Popey has more than what the American version is. Oh, Johnny's got to go back to work. That's okay.
Thank you for joining in.
Able to chime in.
Yeah.
But all 3 of those are different. And then there's the Canadian one. And then there's the Popey. And there's 2 Popeys because they get the original 74 Popey and the color scheme's completely different. And then they've got the like the 76 Popey. Oh, Kenton says he likes your comic collection. He picked up Men of War and House of Mystery from the local shop. That's good stuff.
Yeah, man. I'm getting my War collection, my House of Mystery, House of Secrets. I'm almost finished with the Witching Hour. I mean, when it comes to the War books, I am interested in the stories. Don't get me wrong. But those covers, and I just like those dynamic covers with stuff that's going on because it draws you in. And we talked about this earlier when we talked about comics. You see the cover, and a lot of it for me is the cover. The cover makes me want to buy that book. Yeah. So you see, like, the House of Mysteries always have those little kids and
And the
that
dog.
dog, and it's
Yeah.
like, what are those kids doing?
What are they
And that
looking
make
at?
you want to read it. 9 times out of 10, it's kids probably not even in the book, but that cover
Yeah.
make you want to read that book. So I'm glad that you getting into the war books and stuff like that.
While you can.
While you can, they're still kind of cheap right now.
People, it's picking up steam.
Mm-hmm.
Occam says, "I'm shocked you're not into Micronauts."
You got some Micronauts?
Yeah, I got. Where is it? I got one here, I think.
I thought you had them itty bitty ones. Isn't that Micronauts at the top?
This one's a Micronauts. Those are the die-cast Shogun Warriors.
Oh, they sound
like, see.
Mm-hmm. That's the only Micronaut?
I don't have it. I used to have the whole set. Yeah, I had a huge collection. For those of you who aren't aware, I had a huge collection that was stolen many years ago.
He did a video on it. Yeah. We did a
because my ex stole it.
Yeah, he did a video detailing all of the.
A lot of the stuff that I had, it would when I got it in the early part of the 90s, it was so inexpensive, and now it almost can't be replaced. Some of it can't be replaced.
Yeah, you got to win the lottery.
Yeah. I mean, I had Thunderwing Lion-O on the card. It would probably cost me $15,000 to get that now. You know, it's from the LJ and Thundercats series, because there was deluxe sets that are so insanely expensive now. I mean, when you got the first original 12 backs of the 1978 run of Star Wars figures mint on unpunched cards, and when you bought them, they were less than $100 a piece. How much are they now? I'll probably never get it again. Yeah, but it is what it is. And then you
know, life happens.
Yeah, life happens.
Mm-hmm. But you got to adapt and overcome.
Yeah, I didn't collect for almost 10 years after that happened, because I was so crushed by it.
I can imagine.
Yeah, but yeah, I do like the Micronauts as well.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
It's a cool series. I like a lot of things. I got a lot of obscure pieces that now that I didn't have then as well, like the Mr. Rogers.
Oh yeah, that Mr. Rogers set is cool.
The ideal Mr. Rogers toys are very hard to find, or like the what was it? The Child Guidance Kentucky Fried Chicken playset is a really cool one.
Mm-hmm.
No, I did, but I don't have ROM anymore. And when I got them, you couldn't get $20 for a ROM in the box. And now it's a fortune. But
that's based on that comic?
Yeah, it's based on the comic book. I don't have ROM now. Reston said, I went the old school way and emailed and snail mailed comics to my favorite artists. They signed the books and mailed them back.
Oh, wow.
Those signed books are cooler than any CGC certificate. Sure. Because you put in some effort.
Yeah. Yeah.
CGC does too much with that, and that's what put them so far behind to begin with. And I'll tell you what, I'm getting sick of getting emails from CGC announcing their next signing. I get like 3 a week.
Oh, wow.
Give me a break. You know, I'm not that into autographs. I have some autographs.
Mm-hmm.
I'm not into it like all that.
But they're for the modern artists in those modern books, right?
No, they get older people sometimes too. They get other people. I know Todd McFarlane's done a couple of big ones with them. You know, stuff like that. And I think they had Liefeld, and they get people.
Mm-hmm. I don't know comic book artists like that. I really don't. I don't know who wrote a lot of the books, who did the covers. That part doesn't concern me. I don't really care. I know some people are big on that, and they'll get on you. You don't know who drew the. No, I don't know who drew it. They did a good job. That's what I know. I don't know who wrote it. They wrote a good story. That's all I know, and that's all I care about. You know, but you know, whatever. I collect what I like. The nice covers, a good story. We got something going.
Oh, Jumbosaurus.
What's that?
That's the Popey version of that the Godzilla is based on. They drastically changed it when Mattel got the license. But yeah, the Popey version is called Jumbosaurus. Very expensive toy.
I bet. You got to win the lottery.
Yeah, well. And of course, they scaled it back because Mattel wanted to make it cheaper, so they took a lot of the features away from all of the I'm throwing a blank.
Uh-oh, David's drawing a blank. I've just been keeping my books raw. Mylar for the gems. CGC just burned me out. It's cool, but sick of waiting. Just happy to have the comics on one. Yeah,
Shogun Warriors.
Shogun
Yeah,
Warriors.
that's what I was going to say. Because I had Godzilla on the brain, but yeah, it's a Shogun Warriors series.
Yeah, all of my books are raw, and the ones that I think are like high end, I put in my. The rest of them are just regular bags and boards, and I make sure that they're in the boxes, and they kept dry and neat and all of that. And long as you take care of them, that's all that matters. Yeah. I mean, I would like books that I know for sure are very high end, like 9/8 candidates, but I can't afford that. So what do I get? The next best thing.
I have
the one that's in the $2 bill.
I have some graded stuff. Most of my stuff's raw though.
David liked the graded books. He sent
I just like the way it displayed.
It does display well. I admit that it does display well. It protects the book. You'll never read it, but it does display well. I like reading it, so I don't want it all.
JG. Well, he's a lot of latecomers here. Thanks for joining us, JG. And Kenton says he has a lot of the X Plus Godzilla and Bandai M1 Popey and Gigabrain import kaiju figures are fun but so expensive. Yeah. Especially anything vintage. Some of those vintage Sofubi Japanese vinyl pieces, they are insanely expensive. Yeah. There are things, or early Popey Jumbo Machinder type stuff. Especially if it was not picked up by Mattel. There's a handful, and the prices are crazy. I mean, when you're talking about paying like 15, 20, 25,000 for a toy, it's out there, crazy out there. But it was only made for the Japanese market in limited quantities. And if anything still exists today, it is insanely rare. Wow. But again, you can have rare items that aren't necessarily valuable, but in this case, they are. They are crazy expensive. But anyways, it got a lot later than I expected. We've been on for over 3 hours, almost 3.5 hours. But just spontaneously popping in to say hi and see how things are going, and talk to some of our friends from the channel. Todd has a question. He says, do you guys collect or play any classic board games, and what are some of your favorites? We do have some classic board games. I picked up Payday not too long ago. Yeah, you just picked that up. It was like somewhere. A 70s cop. It turned up at, I think, Goodwill. But it was the 70s version of Payday. It was complete, and I had that when I was a kid. So, if we spot something like that, we'll grab it. We play Scrabble. We played Scrabble a bunch of times. We haven't done it in a while, though. But. Yeah, we play. We do have a few games, though. But we play the Scrabble a lot. We play that more than anything else. We probably should pull out the other stuff, but it's mainly the Scrabble we enjoy. But anyways, we're going to go ahead and wrap up because it's pretty late here. It's 12:20 where we are. Whoa, gosh. Yeah, 12:20 where we are. So to thank everybody for joining us this evening. We hope you enjoyed the conversation. Yeah. Please do, if you're new, please do check out some of the other content. And we will try to do this again. Remember, also, we will be on Sticky Goose's channel on Wednesday at 8 p.m. Eastern Standard Time if you want to catch us again. Occam says you should do more of the underrated keys segment. Yeah, it's been a minute since I've been able to do one of those. I could probably do some more in the near future. But we're going to go ahead and wrap up. Thanks again. Hope you had a good time, and we'll see you again soon.